Professor R Biradar, Registrar, Central University of Karnataka, Kalburgi. He is basically from Karnataka University, R University. It's our great pleasure to have him here today for the session. And welcome you, sir. And welcome you for this session, sir. Sir, you can take the session.
Okay. Can you share the PPT? Hello. Someone, Saraswati. Saraswati, are you there? Saraswati.
Yes, tell me, sir. Saraswati is
Somebody can coordinate to me. Say if I ask something else, you should respond. So
Yes,
that
sir.
there will be connectivity. Otherwise, I'll be talking to only screen. Saraswati, your name Durgappa?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Dr. Durgappa, sir. My wife is doing the PhD from your university, sir, and awarded in 2021, sir. Dr. Sujatama, sir.
Which department?
Economics department, sir. Professor Varnappa, sir, is guide, sir.
From KVD, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And madam will be telling all your speech and all those things, sir. Thank you for hearing, sir.
What is our name?
So, Dr. Sujatama, sir. Sujatama.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. So somebody coordinate. Otherwise, can I start? Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I happy to welcome all the participants from different places who are who have logged on. See, I have two important sessions. So in the first session, I'll talk on qualitative research method, or in other words, hybrid research. And in the second part of my presentation, I'll be talking on PRA, participatory role of research. That's one of the most widely used method of data collection by many researchers. So in the first part, I'll be discussing, I'll start with what is research, because you might have already discussed what is research and all, but just for the refreshment, I'll just say what's research and what is qualitative research. And because nowadays, qualitative research is becoming more important in social science. So I'll also discuss comparison between qualitative and then quantitative research, and classification of qualitative data and samples, qualitative methods of data collection, qualitative method of data analysis, and merits and demerits. So this is the framework of my presentation today, the first session. Can you hear me properly? My voice is audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's very clear, sir. Very clear.
Yes. Okay. See, why research is becoming more important? Can anybody say why research is to be taken up? Is it just because of getting a degree, or what is that? Can anybody tell?
So research is not only taking the PhD award or MPhil, it's more than the enhancing the knowledge, and we are looking to the what to be happen in the societies, sir.
Good. Very good. Yes, basically, there are many reasons why we generally get involved in research. One is there are many, but some of them are as follows. In the particular domain, it may be economics, it can be sociology, it can be commerce, because I know there are the students from different discipline. So one important of the two may be, yes, knowing the advancement in knowledge and discover new theories, new models, because in the recent past, many theories, many models have been emerged, and then knowing the existing knowledge and then discovery of new theories, new models is one important. And also we can formulate developmental policies for the further development of the country, and to even to understand the functioning of the society or economy or individual households, to identify the problems and then remedial measures accordingly. And we can also take up research to evaluate some social problems like poverty, unemployment, child labor, and even to understand the causal relationship between variables. Maybe, for instance, income and expenditure, how income and expenditure are correlated, or education and then quality of employment are correlated. And there are many issues to which we can generally undertake research, right? So there are some questions. I just mentioned some of them. Are one is why is the poverty? Generally, what is the concept of poverty? You can also say what is the income of the CST households and why poverty has come down. And there are many questions which quite frequently come across. Questions like why health of the some people is better as compared to others, and what are the remedial measures. Even if you look at the income of the people, it's not similar. Some of the households are having high income, and some of the households are have low income, and some of the households are have better access to basic needs of life. So therefore, there are many questions which you can encounter in day-to-day life. So for these questions, how do we get answer? Yes, we can get answer for these some of these typical questions by conducting research, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the next question is what is research? Can anybody tell what is research? Generally, because you have already discussed what is research and all. Can anybody just in a simple word can tell what is research? Yes.
The research is a knowing.
Others can also participate in it. It's not even though it is online, it cannot be one way. So other participants should also participate. Just it's not Durgappa should be able to answer, but there are other participants are also there. They can also interact with this session. Yes, Durgappa.
So research is nothing but finding solution to the problem.
Very good. Research is nothing but finding solution to
Problem.
right? Yes. What are the problems? These are the problems which I have specified here. There are many questions are there, problems are there. So research is nothing but to find out solutions to the problems, right? Is it right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Yes, exactly. So any other person? Tina, B, Rashal. Are you Anand? Because just why I am asking is because some people just keep it open. I mean, log
Sir,
on.
good morning, sir.
Hina, good morning. So
Sir,
I
research
want to
is a
see
new
whether-
finding, sir.
Okay. Okay.
New findings, sir. Research is a new findings
Exactly. Research is a
And-
new paradigm. Yes.
and systematic study, sir.
Okay. Systematic study of what?
And our purpose of our topic, sir. Systematic study,
Okay.
scientific research methods, sir.
Okay. Any other? The research in common parlance, research is nothing but a scientific investigation, right? A scientific and empirical investigation of what? Investigation of truth, we can say, truth or new knowledge, right? So therefore, in academic field, we can say that research is nothing but it is a scientific and systematic investigation for a answers, set of answer or a truth or a knowledge, new knowledge or whatever it is. So therefore, we can say that it's a systematic method for stating the problem, identification of the problem, and you can also say that formulation of hypothesis or set of hypothesis, or collecting systematic method for collection of data and analysis, and reaching certain conclusions or policy suggestions, and also generalizing the theoretical formulations or theoretical models. So therefore, in general, research is nothing but it is a systematic and scientific investigation for what? For a set of answer to question, set of answers to problems or questions, or truth or new knowledge whatsoever it is, right? This is what generally we can understand what is research. So next question is what is qualitative research? Something different. I think you might have heard hybrid research, right? What is qualitative research is something which we need to understand in this session. Qualitative research is a scientific method which is generally used to gather, collect data, especially non-numerical. We have two types of information data. One is numerical, that is basically statistical data. Other one is non-numerical. So qualitative research is a method which is used to collect the non-numerical data and also involve the people in collection or analysis of the non-numerical data. This is what is we generally call it as qualitative research. In the qualitative research, we involve people for collection of the various range of information, maybe their life experience or insights or any other living conditions. So by involving the set of people in the rural area or rural area, we can collect insights, life experience, or any other qualitative information. So that is what is qualitative method of research. But in the case of quantitative, what we do is that generally we focus on qualitative data collection, like income, expenditure. So like that, we focus on collection of quantitative information than qualitative information. So friends, I'll tell you, if you look at the total number of articles published, scientific article published in the world level, India ranks at fourth. If you see the quantity, number of articles published at the global level, India ranks around fourth. If you see the citation, of the articles, India ranks at ninth. So what does it mean? This means that quality of research is not up to the mark. In terms of number of articles published, scientific articles published, India is ranking at fourth position. But as far as citation is concerned, India is ranking at ninth position, which means that the quality of research is not good. So, so therefore, now to improve the quality of research, we need to focus on qualitative dimensions of research as well. Because nowadays, though lots of facilities are available, though many, are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No problem,
Yes.
sir.
Okay.
No problem, sir.
Though lots of facilities are available, nowadays, data, especially secondary data, are available on fingertips, right? With no time, you can access the data, secondary data from various sources. And even for data analysis, we have different softwares as well. ChatGPT, right? And even testing hypothesis, we have software called SPSS or eViews, and then many other softwares are available, right? So, in spite of availability of such facilities, still the quality of research is deteriorating. So, this is really ironical situation, and it is unfortunate that in spite of availability of various facilities and services, still the quality of research is deteriorating. So, in order to improve the quality of research, yes, the qualitative research is one of the important methods. We as a social science researchers should make use of it, right? So that's why today's session is focusing on qualitative research methods. So here in the quantitative method of research, we generally it is questions like how many, how much questions are asked. But in the case of qualitative, what is that, how it is that, and why it is that. So what, how, and why these questions are generally asked in the case of qualitative method of research, but in the case of quantitative, how much, how many, like that the questions are asked. So this can be yes. I'll give you one important table where you can have a clear-cut distinction between qualitative method of research and then quantitative method of research. I just I have taken some parameters approach. In the case of qualitative method of research, approach is inductive. Now, inductive method of research and deductive method of research. So, in the beginning itself, this might have discussed, but in qualitative method of research basically makes use of inductive method, that is smaller to larger, or special case to general case. Here, case will be very small, issue will be very small, so that will be generalized. That's what is inductive method. So we generally move from smaller to larger. That is, the small issues will be say generalized to whole of society or the economy as a whole. But in the case of quantitative method of research, So deductive, that is larger to small or general to special case. So that's one difference you can see between qualitative and quantitative method of research. In case of, and as far as goal is concerned, the goal of qualitative research is depth and though having local meanings, local connotative dialects and all, and generate hypothesis. But whereas in the case of quantitative method of research, the focus is breadth, not the depth. Breadth you can understand by coverage of wide issues or wide area. So breadth and then generalization and testing of hypothesis. Here, in the case of qualitative, the focus is the goal is generate hypothesis, but here in the quantitative, they test the hypothesis. This is what is the difference you can see. And as far as setting is concerned, so here in the qualitative it's a natural setting, and in the case of quantitative it is an experimental or control. We generally control you will take two types of areas like where say for instance if you want to study impact of microfinance microfinance on empowerment of women, so we generally take some villages where microfinance or NGOs are working, and then in other places where NGOs are not working or where microfinance is not given, that is controlled village. So that's experimental. So that kind of things. Otherwise, if you construct a bridge, if you want to examine the impact of bridge on cropping pattern or productivity, you can have before and after the bridge. Before, what was the situation, and after, what is the situation. So before and after, with or without, this is all experimental or controlled. This method is used in case of quantitative research, but in the case of qualitative, natural setting, there is no before, after, or with or without. So naturally, we collect the data from the people by involving them. I'll just tell a little later related to that. And as far as sample techniques is concerned, here in the case of qualitative, non-probability. That's a non-probability. No, there are two types of sampling you may be knowing. One is probability, other one is non-probability. So here qualitative method, we generally make use of non-probability, that is a purposeful sampling. And in the quantitative, it is a probability sampling. And sample size, as far as sample size is concerned, in the qualitative it is a small, here in the quantitative it is a large. And data collection, because basically focuses on qualitative data collection, maybe wordings, sentences, images, or pictures, or life experience, or like that data are collected in the case of qualitative method of research, but in the case of quantitative method of research, it's a quantitative nature. Maybe numbers, maybe like consumption, expenditure, or income, or production, like that. And as far as data analysis is concerned, in the case of qualitative, it is a reiterative, it is a description, it is interpretation. But here in the case of quantitative, it is a statistical test. Models, we prepare the tables, use the data, we use some econometric models, and data, we will do the data analysis. But here it is not like that. It is more of descriptive, analytical, and critical. So as far as values are concerned, in the case of qualitative, personal involvement and then personal involvement will be there. And there may be subject to reflexivity. And in the case of quantitative, there is objectivity, impartiality, and then detachment will be there. But in the case of qualitative data, there will be personal involvement there. There may be possibility of subjectivity. As far as validity is concerned, in the case of qualitative data analysis or methods, we can check the quality of data through cross-checking. That's known as triangulation, because there will be many people are there in collection of the data in case of qualitative method of research. So therefore, if someone is telling lie, we can cross-check, we can triangulate, we can cross-check the quality of the data, and thereby you can validate the data, whether they are true or not. We can validate through cross-checking or through triangulation. But here, in the case of quantitative method of research, we only rely on statistical test. Whether the data are valid or not, or true or false, we can depend on some test. Then we really cross-checking with the help of the people. So friends, you can see this kind of difference between qualitative method and the quantitative method of research.
Can you give an example for validity?
Yeah, validity. Suppose in case of okay, you are asking in case of social mapping or resource mapping, so all people are gathered in a particular place where they can map the resources of the village. or social mapping they can do. When it comes to the social mapping, yes, households are described with, designated with some characteristics. Okay, this household is Pakka, Kacha, or semi-Pakka RCC. Someone says, they say, though it is Kacha, someone says RCC. Someone will be there, no, it is not RCC, her household, his household is Kacha household. Like that. Or in other words, okay, in each household, okay, when it comes for wealth ranking or asset ranking and something like that, a particular household, when it comes to the particular households, yes, these households are having some livestock, mixable or non-mixable livestock they have, and someone, no, they do not have, actually they are not having, but they are putting live. So others, they can come and then, no, these households do not have any livestock, why you are telling live? Like that, you can, people are there to cross-check. Get my point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Case of quantitative research, say in the case, when you collect the data through survey method, when you go for collection of primary data to a particular household, so there will be household members alone, nobody will be there. Whatever the respondent, in the case of survey method, that is quantitative method of data collection, whatever the information that we collect from the respondent is true. That is the final. But no one will be there to cross check whether a particular respondent is telling lie or not. We cannot check in the case of quantitative method, especially survey method of data collection. But in the case of qualitative method, that is PRA techniques, I'll tell little later what is PRA. Where PRA is a participant role appraisal, that is one of the important method of data collection. So their validity is possible, cross-checking is possible because there is a group of the people will be there. So someone is telling lie about the information, others are there to rectify it or correct it. Get my point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Clear, yes. When I discuss this PRA technique in the next session, it will be more clear. So my point here is that whether the data collection is right or wrong, how do you check it? In the case of quantitative method of data collection, that is say survey method, through interview schedule or questionnaire, whatever it is, there we cannot check the quality of the data. You can check with the statistical test only. Using the statistical test like ANOVA, t-test or whatever it is, with using the statistical tools, you can test the validity of the data. But here, in the case of qualitative method of research, we can check the correctness of the data, validity of the data with the help of the people themselves. Isn't it? Statistical tools, they may be right or wrong. They check only based on the data given. Sometimes though the data are wrong, statistical test may say that the data are right. So therefore, qualitative data method collection is much better than this quantitative method of data collection as far as validity is concerned, values are concerned, data analysis is concerned, all parameters whatever I have taken here. So generally this quantitative method of research can be used in many areas. So in education also you can use dropout or retention. So dropout, why students are getting dropped out, where the dropout is high, whether it is high among scheduled caste, scheduled tribe or others. If it is high among scheduled tribe, scheduled caste, why it is high, what are the socio-economic reasons behind this. So in education you can use, nursing also you can use, and health sector you can use, and in sociology, psychology, economics, economics are, commerce also we can use, and political science, psychology, anthropology. So in different social science you can use this qualitative method of data collection. Even in information science also use the other humanities and languages also you can use. So therefore, in almost all science and social science field, we can use this qualitative method of data collection. It depends on the nature of the study. Depending on the nature, objectives, issues which you are addressing, wherever it is possible, we can use the qualitative method of data collection. Once you know the qualitative different dimensions of qualitative method of data collection, then you will decide, okay, this is the area where we can use this qualitative method of data collection. So these are the some important disciplines where we can use the qualitative method of data. Before that, you may be knowing there are 4 important types of data, right? In your research, you remember we need to collect qualitative data as well as quantitative data. So based on the measurement of the data, 4 important categories are identified. One is nominal data, other one is ordinal data, third one is interval, and the fourth one is ratio data. These are the different 4 types of data that we can see. So nominal is what? Nominal, this is also known as categorical data. It is a data that includes categories, which cannot be ranked or which cannot be ordered. Say for instance, male or female. Male or female is a qualitative information which you cannot order. Male is first or female is first or vice versa. We cannot order that. And we cannot sum also. We cannot sum, we cannot divide, we cannot really do mathematical exercise here. Only you can do frequency, mode, we can do it. And similar yes or no. Yes is first or no is first, we cannot order, we cannot rank. So this kind of even colors also. White color, black color, gray color also cannot really order, right? In any manner. So that's what is known as nominal data. Categorical data is also known. And the second one is ordinal data. Ordinal data, by word itself, suggests that it consists of categories which can be ranked or ordered. Say, for instance, if you are asked to range the quality of this training program, this training program that is going on at the end of the course, you may order very good, bad, and worst, right? This way you can order. Otherwise, you can also say about the taste of the food. Okay, how it is good or very good or bad or worst. Like that, we can order certain information, quality, especially quality, whether it is good, bad, like that. Even other information also you can order, very good, or bad or worst, like that. So this is known as ordinal order. You can order it, and distance between the very good you cannot measure, you cannot calculate, right? But you can rank below or above, you can rank, but distance between good and very good you cannot calculate. And similarly, distance between male and female you can calculate, and yes and no you cannot calculate. But in the nominal, you cannot rank it. They are independent with each other. In the ordinal category data, you can rank it, but distance you cannot measure it. And third category, interval data. Interval data measured on continuous scales. There is a continuous scales and has no 0 point, like the time. Time has no 0. Time continuously, and temperature also no 0, right? Like that. And ratio data, it has a continuous scale and does have a 0 point. Say for instance, age has 0, weight has 0, height is also has 0. So therefore, here first two category, they are all come under qualitative data. Second category, third and fourth, that is interval data and then ratio data, they come under quantitative data. So in our research, we have both. We have all qualitative and then quantitative data. So for that, we need to understand nature of the data. Then only we will decide whether I should go for this one qualitative or quantitative method of data analysis or not, or whether I can use t-test, EF-test, or chi-square test, or mode standard deviation. How do you decide this kind of statistical techniques to be used? First, we should understand what type of the data I have. I have nominal data or not, ordinal data or not, or interval or ratio data. What type of data I have? When we know this, then only we can decide what type of mathematical tools or econometric tools or statistical tools can be used. Coming to sampling technique and then sample size. So basically in social science, there are two categories of sampling, right? What are they? Anybody? There are two categories of sampling.
So probability.
Random sampling and
Probability and non-probability.
Very good. Probability and the non-probability. What are the probability sampling?
In case of probability sampling, each and every respondent will be having the equal chance of getting selected, sir.
And I'm asking different types of probability sampling. I'm not asking random sampling. You are telling random sampling.
Systematic, stratified, multi-stage sampling.
Okay. Any other types? That is one type. Yes, any other?
Cluster sampling also comes, sir.
Pardon me?
Cluster sampling.
Yes, cluster sampling.
Snowballs sampling.
No. Don't say looking at the table. my question is that there are two categories of sampling. One is probability, other one is non-probability. Okay, I'm asking what are the different types of probability sampling. Snowball doesn't come under the probability. It comes under non-probability. Random sample, you have not heard? Random sampling?
Yes,
Random.
sir.
Sir.
Yes.
Ah,
Yes,
random
sir.
Certified random sampling. The random sampling, again, there are two types. What are they? Lottery method, skipping method, lottery method, skipping method in random. Have you heard? Lottery method, lottery, you know, no? Lottery method. We list
Yes, sir,
down
yes,
all
sir.
you can list down all the households, sample households. Households of all the village households, all the households can you list down, and then from them we can just pick up randomly. Lottery method. Yes,
Yes, sir.
okay. Any other? What is random sample? Others should also. But Saraswati, you should not involve in any other your household work because you should be attentive here. Saraswati,
Yes, sir.
yes. Online means you don't think that I am not watching. I am watching what you are doing there. Yes, tell me what is random sample? Random sample? Anybody? It is a basic, na?
Sir, in case of random sampling,
Yes, one at a time. Yes.
sir, in case of random sampling, each and every respondent will be having the equal chance of getting selected. We can
Right.
choose any of the respondent
Yeah.
randomly.
That is what is randomness, isn't it? Yes, in your research, which method you have used? Random or any other? In your research study in PhD,
Random stratified sampling, sir.
you used random stratified sample, right?
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Why random sampling is not cannot be used, or where it can be used? Where
Sir,
random sampling? Yes,
sir, random sampling will be used in case of quantitative research, sir.
quantitative research. Okay, in quantitative research, random sampling can be used, but in which context it can be used? Can I say I have one research project that is impact of poverty, impact of microfinance on poverty. Can I go and then use random sample in a village or for a village?
No, sir.
Arun Kumar Raju.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Why?
Because a respondent who uses microfinance facility is to be selected for the study, sir.
Okay, very good. So that what we can do?
We can identify as a person respondent who availed microfinance, and through him we can select other respondents also who are in the same category.
Yes, good, very good. We have to strata. We have to do stratification, classification. Who are using microfinance, who are not using microfinance, right? That is stratified random sample is better than random sample. See, random sample prima facie cannot be used because our households are not homogeneous. For any reason, households are not homogeneous, isn't it? Are the households are homogeneous? Many of us are using random sample only, but telling stratified random sample in the write up. But practically, they are using random sampling only. So random sampling is not appropriately suitable in the Indian context because households are not homogeneous, right? Isn't it? Households are heterogeneous by different characters, by social group, by education, by land holding, by any other parameter you can take. They are not homogeneous. So therefore, any household is not okay, not acceptable. But any household from scheduled caste is okay, scheduled tribe is okay, compared to in all households, right? So therefore, depending on the nature of the study, we can classify the households into different categories. From homogeneous category households, we can select anyone. We can categorize the population or households so long as they become homogeneous, right? Small farmers, marginal farmers, medium farmers, large farmers. Anyone from large is okay by and large, right? Compared to anyone of all the households. Similarly, anyone is okay from landless households compared to all households, right? Isn't it?
So how to get this information, sir? Because we were categorizing the large, medium, and small.
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head. See, many researchers, what they do without collecting that information, they simply go to the household and collect the information. Then they say that stratified random sample. That's wrong. What you have to do as per the procedure, one has to conduct the census survey of the household. Census survey you can understand, depending on your nature of the study. Census survey means door-to-door visit first. In the first case, directly we cannot go to the any household for data collection. In the first case, in the first visit, we should collect the census data. I mean, household house-to-house data. Visiting house to house, we can collect the basic information. Suppose if your study is related to say microfinance or SHG related. So you collect all the data, name and all households cash. You can collect one question you have to ask whether are you a member of SHG or are you using microfinance or not. So when you collect the basic information by visiting door to door, house to house, then that is census survey. So you have one data set from there. So you may be having 200 households. So from the 200 households, you will get to know how many households are having microfinance or using microfinance, how many households are not using, right? Among the households using microfinance, again you can have a category. Educated, illiterate, like that you can also have information. Or again small, marginal, medium you can also have. Or SC, ST, OBC you can have. So like that you can categorize. So while collection of the data itself, you should have all these parameters. You should have name, caste, land, education of the head of the household, whether you are using, you are having access to microfinance or not, or using microfinance or not. All the required information you should collect before collecting the data from the sample households. So that is census survey we should do. Many research scholars only in the case of projects only, I think as per the funding agency direction, they do a household survey. But for PhD, MPhil, many students, as I understand, do not collect the census survey and do not do the census survey. Directly they go to the household. Suppose if they want to have some households belonging to SC colony, they go collect some information. And ST and OBC, minority like that, they go their colony and collect the information. That's wrong. We should have optimum representation of the sample, right? If you want to have optimum representation of the sample, then first condition is to do some census survey, collect all the basic information. So that is a population of your study. Of the population, that's known as population. Of the population, you collect the data that you can do stratified random. You can strata by social group. You can strata by land holdings. You can strata. You can do grouping and any other pattern as per your requirement. So then only you can have the optimum representation of the sample.
So my question is whether respondents give the truthful information or not, how you will going to identify that, sir, at the time of the receive the information. That's also very important, sir.
Exactly, very important question. Because see, in the case of survey methods, I'll tell you, the respondent will not give the correct information unless otherwise you establish a rapport. Unless otherwise you establish a good rapport with them. They should think that yes, the information that you collect is used for only research purpose, then only they give right information. Otherwise, they suspect when you go for data collection and all, they suspect that yes, this data will be collected and then submitting to the government. So if the government knows that if I have these assets, this land, this is much income, then they may not extend any benefit like that. They think and then they would give proper information. Right, that is the biggest problem in social science. So therefore, qualitative data collection itself is a big challenge. So how you establish rapport with them, that depends. If you establish a good rapport, good relationship with them, okay, they make you good information. Otherwise, they give false information, because I know I started my career by collection of the data from CMR itself in 1997-98. So therefore, I know how difficult it is to collect the data from the people. So that's why I am suggesting there is another method called qualitative method of data collection. In the quantitative method of data collection, we have only survey method, right? Survey you can understand,
Yes, sir.
questionnaire or interview schedule. So we'll go to the households, we collect the data face to face, one to one. So there is a possibility of giving the wrong information or false information. That's why we should supplement other method of data, that is qualitative method of data, that is PRA techniques, participatory role appraisal, PRA. That's what I in the next session I will discuss about what is PRA, how PRA is used to collect the qualitative data and all. So that is discussed in the next session. So therefore,
Sir, I have a question regarding legal research, sir, when using of random sampling.
yes.
Sir,
Using
in legal research, I'm a law student, sir.
Okay.
Sir, how can random sampling help evaluate the impact of new laws or policies on specific populations, sir?
And if you give the specific law, I'll tell you.
And regarding this tribal talaq, recently our union government abolished this tribal talaq.
Tribal talaq, right?
Tribal talaq.
Yeah. So you want to study this one, right?
Yes.
Particular village you want to select, right?
It's a limited population, sir.
You have some study area, right? You have some study area.
Yes.
See sample study. This is a sample study. Suppose if you have selected one village, you selected where how this tribal talaq affected our opinion about maybe in favor or in favor or whatever it is. Okay. You have to do some kind of survey study on this tribal talaq. First, you have to can you hear me, na? First, you have to do some census survey. Census survey. First, otherwise you will not be able to know your respondent. How do you know your respondent? You have to identify the households which is related to your subject. Tribal talaq, isn't it? All may not be affected. All may not be related to that all households. So therefore, in order to identify your sample households, how do you know your sample household? You don't know. One aspect is snowball sample is there. You can catch hold one household. The tribal talaq is affected or related to Muslim only, right? Am I right?
Yes.
Is it okay? So one snowball sample or chain referral sampling you can use it. So one household you can hold. First household you can understand, and from there any other households are there similar to you can ask. Yes, there's another household is there in the village. You can go there. So you can go there, and again you can ask them. Okay, another similar household, Muslim household is there in the village or in the city, wherever. So they can also give reference. So from 1 to like that, how many sample households you want, you can visit. That's one method. Other method is find out the conduct the census survey, get the total list of the households. Of all the households, how many of them are related to Muslim category? You can categorize. Again, in the Muslim category, there are different subcastes are there. Again, you subcategorize. So like that, you can use random sample is not applicable. Stratified random sample is very much applicable. Random sample, how do you, if you select one household, that particular household may not be related to Muslim household. How do you collect the data? Random sample, not at all. First, research PhD scholars, first what they have to do is that do some census survey. So you get to know your population. Once you know the population with different character, different parameter, then okay, you can certify that. Then you can take proportional sampling. You can take. Suppose in the you want to compare other households also, you can take other households proportionally. So your study is basically purposive sample, right? Purposive sample. You are proposing only deliberately you are collecting data from the Muslim households, not other households, right? So stratified random sample is one better option available. Yes, some of the questions, your thesis related questions, your specific individual questions you can put at the end. So I'll just go on this one. So there are two types of sample categories, right? One we have probability sampling and the other one is non-probability. So this probability sampling, they are used in quantitative method of research. But the non-probability sampling is used by qualitative method of research. So among all, there are some I will just specify here. One is purposive sampling techniques. Plus, in case of tribal talak, yes, you can select those households which are related to your subject, tribal talak. So here, purposive sampling techniques is school dropout children, you can focus, or SY affected patients you can focus, or widows you can focus, or old age people you can focus. So that's one non-probability sampling method that we generally have in the social science. And another is quota sampling also, subgroups based on traits or character. Say only male will select, only primitive groups will select, or only married people only select, or SY affected people can select. Only that is quota sampling, we can say. Other one, as referred by someone, snowball sampling. When the sample is not known, say even HIV affected people, sample is not known, and child labor, that sample is not known, and tribal talak, that sample is not known. In case of sample is not known and then sample is not sufficient, then we can use the snowball sample. That is chain reference sampling. So once you catch hold one sample unit, from them take the reference, go to the next households, collect the information, and take the reference of next households and go on like this. So that is what is known as snowball sample. That's one. Next one is next types is convenient and opportunity sampling. These also non-probability only. So for the sake of convenient, maybe in terms of resource or energy, whatever it is, for the sake of convenient, we generally use this convenient or opportunity sampling. So, but it has its own limitations. That's different issue. Another one is extreme deviant sampling. Extreme deviant means outliers we can generally say. Maybe successful NGOs, successful Gram Panchayati secretary or PDO, or failures of NGOs, all extremes, maybe dropouts, maybe rank holders, maybe our sample may be having some extremism, either right side or left side, or failure or successful, or negative or positive like that. Other one is maximum variance sampling, which is a dialectic. Say for instance, largest, highest, richest person, poorest person, or rural or urban, like that. You can have maximum variant sampling. So that's one. And another sampling is homogeneous sampling. Maybe for in case of say aging people, homogeneous, all in this sample all are having same character, homogeneous. Maybe aging, maybe widow, or maybe migrant workers, all are migrant workers. So homogeneous, that's known as homogeneous, having homogeneous character, that's all. And other one is theoretical sampling is also another one. Maybe in order to generate some theories or for some models, we select some samples. Say for instance, smoking and the lung cancer. Suppose if we catch hold these smokers, you have some discussion, okay, by smoking, what illness, or what health problems you have, you can ask. So they may say that by smoking, yes, I am having some lung problem, respiratory problem, or like that. And again, you can you can meet again the same similar sample, the another smokers, and again same they may say that yes, I am also having respiratory problem, or some lung cancer related problem, some kind of illness they say. So like that you can go from 1% to 100 and 110 or 25, 30, whatever it is. Then you will get to know that some theory, some pattern you will get to know. All the smokers have lung problems. Drinkers have another cancer problem. Like that, smokers, drinkers, or chewing tobacco, or any other bad habits. If you discuss with these different people, then you will get to know some type of pattern, some type of trend. So that is known as theoretical sampling. So you are developing some theories, some models, where later on you can test with the statistical tools. So friends, these are the some important non-probability samplings that is generally used in the qualitative method of research. Then what are the methods of data collection? Next question is, so there are many, but I have listed down here 6. and many of them are already known to you. It's not that you don't know. So we have personal interview methods, right? This is one of the qualitative method of data collection. We have observation method, participatory observation, and without participatory observation, ethnographic observation you may be knowing, especially anthropology and then the psychology people use this ethnographic observation method for data collection. And we also have focus group discussion. That's one method of data collection. And open-ended survey also use, oral history use, and case study method. There are 6 types of method of data collection. Tools are different, methods are different, right? Methods are through which you can collect the data, qualitative data. So I'll just take one by one for comprehensive understanding. So in personal interview, you know, personal face-to-face, it may be structured or it may be unstructured. It may be individual or it may be group interview. So we can have interaction, and then accordingly you can collect the data depending on the nature of your study. You can collect the data. So that is personal interview. Now face-to-face dialogue, and as per your checklist or set of questions, it may be structured questions or unstructured questions. You can ask the questions and accordingly you can get the information, and you can record also. So that is personal interview, through which you can collect the information that you require for your research study. And the type of questions that you ask may be different from one person to another person, because it depends on the nature of your study. So based on the nature of your study, you can prefer this set of questions, and accordingly you can meet your respondent, have a discussion, dialogue, face to face, and collect the information. That is personal interview. It may be one-to-one or it may be one-to-many. And other one is observation method. Yes, this is also another important method. You can observe the functioning of the village or festivals or any other activities, and accordingly, based on the observation, you collect the information that is needed for your research. So you can participate in the event, or you can not. You can, without participation also you can collect the information. Say in the some festival, tribal festival, dancing. So there also you participate in their activity and collect the information. Or without participation also, from being far away, you can also observe how events are taking place, how different actors are doing like that. You can collect the information which we needed. It doesn't mean that you have to use all the methods of data collection. Depending on your nature of study, you can use the observation method or interview method, whatsoever, which is suitable for you. But observation method is also one method of data, qualitative method of data collection. Even for quantitative also, when you go for survey method of data collection, that is when we go for survey for collection of primary data, one must observe first, establish rapport. Straight away you cannot go to the village and then collect the data by or through interview schedule or questionnaire. First important requirement on the part of the researcher is to go to the village, establish rapport, meet some key persons, and move around the village and observe it, how things are happening, where the facilities are available, and who are making use of the facilities. Then only you will be able to collect the good information, even in the case of survey method. So this observation method, generally psychology, anthropology, ethnography observation is also one method of data collection used by anthropologists and psychologists. So what they do, they live in the village itself, and they live with the tribal people and understand their living standard or any other activities of the tribal people, and accordingly they will collect the information. When they live in the village itself for months together, then the real information they can collect. They can they cannot tell lie. So that's why many of the anthropologists and then psychologists, they use this ethnographic observation. They live in the particular primitive groups, social groups, and there they can collect the qualitative information. So observation method is one. Another one is focus group interview. This is one of the important method of data collection widely used by social science instructors. So here what they do in the focus group interview, you can have some focus groups. Say for instance, all widows, I want to collect some information relating to the living conditions of the widow. So all the widows of the village can be gathered in one particular place, and there you can have a focus group interview. Depending on the checklist or depending on the information, depending on the question that you prepare, you can ask them and then they will give the information collectively. So that is what is known as focus group. So there, I'll just give you one picture here. Yes, there are some enumerators are there. So these are all agricultural laborers gathered in one particular place, and that researcher is asking questions relating to wage for men, wage for women. Is there any wage discrimination, or wage is equivalent to your productivity or not, or as per your expectations, and the employment is regular or not, how employment opportunities are available in the village, and in this slack season whether you migrate or so like that. You may come up with this kind of set of questions and ask the questions immediately. But in the case of survey method, what you do, you prepare questions and visit your house to house and collect the information as per your regular schedule, and then come back to the department and feed the data into computer and then prepare the tables and analyze. This takes lots of time. Here, in focus group interview, yes, from whom you want to collect the information, you can ask key informants to gather all these people in one particular place and ask the questions. What is the wage rate of woman? So they tell wage rate of the woman is this, and wage rate of men this, for agriculture this, for non-agriculture this, right? And how many employment opportunities, mandates, how many mandates are available in year or in a rabi season, kharif season. And you can also ask during the slack season of agriculture, where you go for work, where do you migrate? If you are migrating in some places, how do you migrate? What is the wage rate there? So all questions on the single day you can collect from focus group interview. This is the beauty of focus group interview. This is also acceptable. This method is also acceptable here. No telling lies less. Can you get my point? Are you
Yes, sir.
getting
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
telling lies, suppose wage rate of men is told lie or less or more. Others are there to come correct it. No. It is not 400. It is 250. And suppose he is telling 250. No. It is not 250. It will be 400 or 500. So others are there to rectify this information, right?
Cross-checking is not possible.
Exactly. But in face-to-face, one-to-one, that's in the case of survey method of data collection, there's a possibility of telling lie. They may say more or less. Who is there to correct it? After collection of the data, compiling and will estimate the average. But there is a possibility of the false information to be provided by the respondent. So therefore, this is what is focus group interview.
So can you give some sample questionnaire, sir, for research purpose?
Yeah, if you tell the particular research topic, I'll just give an example. Poverty. Can I give poverty or migrant
Yes.
workers?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Say for instance, migrant workers. So we can go to the village and catch hold the key informant of the village, maybe PDO or secretary or Gram Panchayati member or any other key persons of the village. Go and then meet them and ask how many households are migrating nearby states to district, whatsoever it is. So he may say there, we have 200 households. Out of the 200 households, 50 households generally migrate during the summer season. Can you please ask them to come in one place, Chaudi temple, in one common place? Yes, I'll tell them in the morning, you come on so and so date. So I'll ask them to come on some particular place like that. He may inform all the migrant households to come one particular place on a particular day. So on that day, you can have gathering like this, and you can ask questions relating to your nature of objective. Why you are migrating? What is the wage rate in the village? What is the wage rate in the migrant place? That is destination. The origin destination you have to compare. Employment availability in the village, employment opportunity in the migrant places. Wage rate also you can ask. And like that, how many days you migrate, why you migrate, and what do you do the remittance. The money they earn when they migrate. So what you can do, whether you spend entire money or you save some money, if you are saving, where you are saving, or if you are sending money back to your parents or your family members. So for what purpose they are using? They are using for education purpose or any house asset creation purpose. So like that, you can have set of questions and ask questions on the spot itself. On the spot itself, you can get the information. But in case of survey method, what you do? Then what you have to do? You have to print the questionnaires.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For 50 households, you have to print the questionnaire, right? And you have to visit house to house, and you have to ask question by question, and come back and then feed the data into computer and prepare the frequency cross tabulation or whatever. But here, you will get information on the spot itself, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And the quality of information is also accurate compared to the survey method, isn't it? But this method is also acceptable. Nobody can question. You can tell the methodology, that's all. I use focus group interview and collected the information. Like that also in the case of Arun Kumar Raju, we were studying, of course, you use survey method, no doubt. But you can also use this focus group interview as a anecdote or as a supplementary to your study, where you can collect all women, gather all women in one particular place. There you can ask questions, whether this law is good or bad, and how many of you are already affected or benefited with respect to this triple talaq and all. You have focus group interview. In the thesis, you can add one box. You can add one box. There you can narrate all the story, right? Arun?
Sir, when
Yeah.
we when we pick up this type of sensitive topics, we can't bring in a focus group discussion, sir. It's my
You
thought.
are not referring to any, because you are studying overall, right? You are not referring to any one person. Group as a whole, you can do it. You are not referring to particular woman there. It is a collective information. It's a collective information. In any case, you are doing survey. You are doing survey, you are collecting information from house to house. But in order to supplement the quantitative data, you can have this kind of focus group interview where you can collect the qualitative. See, there are some information you may not be able to collect through questionnaire or interview schedule. So this is the one method where you can have this group discussion. In the group discussion, personal issues they won't tell. General issues they can share. Common. Okay, this is focus group.
Sir, so one more question, sir. If you make it as the proper questionnaire, and this method will be used for the for initial stage, sir, for questionnaire, for preparing the questionnaire for random sampling, and this method will be useful for, sir. Maybe.
It's a pilot survey you are telling, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, you can also use that one. But this is generally used for the qualitative data collection, for testing of the scheduler. For testing of the scheduler, you can ask questions and get the information and rectify your questions, through schedules that you prepare. That can also be done. But generally we don't do this. Generally what they do for testing pilot survey, because your survey, household survey, na? Yours is household survey. It's right. When it is related to household survey,
Yes, sir.
we pick up people, some households, will ask the questions face to face. Face to
Yes,
face.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that is the method generally used for this focus group to interview, only for collection of qualitative information. But for that also you can use, no doubt. But here specific information they may not be able to tell.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
The questionnaire or household survey, you are asking specific information. One particular household information you are asking. Here, suppose in case of a scheduled caste household, information you are collecting in case of survey method. In the group, how can they tell about that? Isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. I understand.
Pre-testing of scheduled or pilot survey is better to have one-to-one only than one-to-group, in my view. Okay. And this is another open-end survey. Open-end survey, this is also a qualitative method of survey where answers are open. Answers are open. See, there are two types of survey. One is closed-end and then open-end. Do you know this? There are two types of survey. One is open-end and then closed-end.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is closed-end? Any idea? What is closed-end?
So close end means we will give the set the variables and he will be give the answer that particular point of only.
Answers are closed, right? We have set of answers. There is a question, say for instance, migration, reasons for migration. Low wage, low employment, significant variation in employment. And like that, you have sort of predetermined answer in closed. That's closed. Answer is closed. So among all the answers, one he has to tick. That's all, isn't it? That's what you will say.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is a closed and answers are closed. Answers from the respondent sides are closed. You have already fixed. Within these answers, you have to answer. That's one type of a closed and survey. Open and survey, answers are open. Any answer for a question, the results are migration. You can tell 100 questions. Questions are open end, close end, open end survey. So open end survey, in the case of open end survey, the questions are asked and then answers are kept open. The respondents can give varieties of answers. Group of the people can give variety of answers. These same answers in the focus of interview. It's also one survey. There you can ask reason for migration. And reason for migration, all the group of the people, they may say that low employment, whether it is low, working condition is very bad, and work harassment at workplace, like that, they can. That is open end survey. It's also one method. And oral history. This oral history method is also used to create historical data or correct historical information. Maybe event 1947 till date, how this employment pattern changed, cropping pattern changed, or how a particular group behaved. In the village, we have different social groups, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBC, minority, like that. So how this over a period of time, how this particular group behaved. Say for instance, Kurba community. Don't mistake me for referring to certain groups. Or I'm just giving an example. Okay, Kurba community in 1950 to till date, how they are faring? Are they same as it was as they are in 1950, or now they have changed? What is their occupation pattern? Whether it has been diversified or not diversified, or same occupation they maintain. Similarly, barber house. Similarly, Kambariki, carpenter. Like that, you can collect the data historically and see the trend. This is one oral history method which is used to collect the historical data of a particular group, or particular community, or particular even rainfall also you can see over a period of time how rainfall is taking place. It is increasing or decreasing. Is there any significant variation? What is the climate change? You can ask the information from the villagers like this. You just see you are just seeing the picture, na? He has some woman, so he may be asking questions relating to woman empowerment. Earlier, 1950s, what was the status of woman, and what is the status of woman now? Like that, he may be asking some questions. And here also, maybe laborers. Here also, what was the employment opportunities in 1950, wage rate, and what are the employment you are getting? Like that, you can prepare depending on your nature of the study. You can prepare the questions accordingly. You can gather the information. So information collected by method of this is also acceptable. Nobody can question. You can say that I used qualitative method of data, that is oral history, and collected the information. You can build up a story. Over a period of time, rainfall has come down. Suppose if your study is related to climate change or agriculture, you can have one box in the thesis. In addition to your survey method of data collection and all, there in the box you can have yes, rainfall pattern has changed over a period of time, and rainfall. There's a significant variation in rainfall also. So because of this decline in the rainfall, variation in the rainfall, forestry area under forestry has come down, and even cropping pattern has changed. Farmers are shifting from water intensive crop to less water intensive crops. Like that, you can get some qualitative information by way of this method and then put in a box. That's also acceptable. That will help to improve our quality of research. Coming to the last one, case study method. A case study is also another important method of data collection, which is used to study a specific subject. Say, for instance, a person, a case study of freedom fighters. That's a case study. Or a case study of old age people. Or a case study of NGO, non-government organization, say, for instance, Seva or Myrada, a case study of Myrada. a case study of Seva, a case study of any other such NGOs. Particular one case, many students they use impact of minor irrigation, a case study of Dharwad. Dharwad is not a case. You should not use like this. Dharwad, similar to Dharwad, there are many other districts are there. Why Dharwad is a case? Case means there is some special case. No other such substitutes might be available, must be available. Means that age old people. It's a case study. HIV affected households. It's a case study. NGO case study. So like that, we can have the case study and then collect the information. For instance, primitive social groups, primitive groups, tribal people. So their cultural study. So this is a case study of some Siddiqui, some Naga, some Saki. Like that, we can take some groups, make a detailed study. So through that, we collect information that is known as case study method of data collection. So friends, there is no hard and fast rule. Though you are making use of survey method, wherever it is possible, you can use these, any one of them. Most appropriate is say focus group you can use. Even if you depend on the survey method of data collection, that is going to door to door and then collection of the data as per your interview schedule. Though you use that method of data collection, but wherever it is possible, you can have a focus group interview, or even oral history, or participatory method, or observation method, or even participatory method is also one accepted method of data collection. So we can collect some qualitative data through that and then put up in a box, kind of write up in the thesis. That will really help you. So these are the 6 important methods of qualitative data collection that generally used by researchers. So then the method data analysis. There are different methods of data analysis. We collect the data from using different methods, and we also, depending on the nature of the study, we can have different methods of data analysis. So one important data analysis, content analysis. Content. There are 2 types of content analysis. One is conceptual analysis, one other relationship analysis. So here in the content analysis, yes, by using any method of data collection, we have non-numerical data. Non-numerical. There won't be any data consumption, no production, no investment to savings, so there won't be any data. Data will be some verbal or some behavioral data, or some words will be there, or some pictures will be there. So this data can be used to write the content. There we can have conceptual content analysis or relationship analysis. I'll just tell you an example. Suppose if you read the literature, if you collect the literature, I'll just give an example with respect to economics only because I study economics. So if you read the developmental trajectory, not tragedy, developmental trajectory of India since 1947 to till date, we'll see some kind of paradigm shift in the focus of development. So we in the literature, I have information related to economic growth, development, human development, women empowerment, and inclusive growth and Atmanirbhar, like that. So that I'll tell you. That is known as conceptual analysis. So in the literature, we have non-numerical data or words like growth, development, human development, women empowerment, inclusive growth, Atmanirbhara, like that we have. So we can just make a conceptual content analysis like this. In the from 1950s to till 70s, the focus of the development is on economic growth. Maybe economic students may be able to understand, and others can also follow. So from 1950 to 1970s, the focus of development was on growth. What is growth? Can anybody? Economic students. What is growth? What is economic growth?
The positive increasing, sir.
Positive increase. Positive increase. What is that positive increase?
So just
Maybe
to
as a side,
increase the growth rate of GDP, focusing on more production.
Yes, yes, good, very good, very good. Focusing on more beer production. In 1970, till 1970, the focus of development of the country was on economic growth. That means that focus are to increase the production, to the great production. Because in the first, soon after the independence, no, many of the people went without food. Millions of millions went without food, suffering from lack of food. So we imported wheat from America under PL 480 Act. So focus was at that time, focus was on mere increase in grain production or GDP, thinking that the benefits of economic growth would automatically percolate down to the poorer section of the society. So automatically their health status will improve, education status will improve, living standard will also improve. Based on this trickle down hypothesis, maybe economic students may be knowing, based on the trickle down hypothesis, the technocratic model of classical economics focused on this economic growth. So mere increase in economic growth, that's mere increase in national income or output, would automatically benefit the people in terms of improving their education, health, living conditions, whatsoever it is. But in 1970s, this did not happen. That is, benefits of economic growth did not percolate down to the poorer section of the society. Why is because in the mid 1970, one national sample survey, NSS, National Sample Survey Organization conducted a survey on poverty. So in the mid 1970s, more than 54% of the population was living below poverty line. Even after 2 decades of our developmental journey, more than 50% of the population of this country was living below poverty line. Means what? That means benefits of economic growth during the last 2 decades did not reach the poorer section of the society. That's why more than 50% of the population continue to be living in poverty condition. So economic growth failed. Based on trickle down hypothesis, economic growth strategy as an approach has failed to take the benefits from benefits to the poorer section of the society. Then the focus was given on economic development. So, why economic development means what? Economic development is much broader than economic growth, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
yes, sir.
In
Yes, sir.
the mid 1970, poverty did not reduce automatically. Education also did not improve automatically. Health status also did not improve automatically. But what the economists was thought that automatically this will, if there's increase in the income, education will also improve automatically, health also improve automatically, living conditions also improve automatically. They thought like that. But in the mid 1970s, this did not happen. So therefore, focus was shifted from economic development to economic growth to economic development. What is economic development? Economic development is
Yes, sir. Along with increase in the GDP or production, considering all the overall development of all other social sectors, also to be considered. That's what development, sir.
yes,
From
it
control.
is broader than economic growth. It includes how GDP is produced, how it is distributed, and how poverty has come down, whether inequality has come down, or even unemployment rate has come down or not. So it includes more than mere increase in national income, poverty related, institutional related, technological related, distribution related, like that. These other factors are included in economic development. So from 1970s to till 1990s, 1990 till 90s, this economic development was focused, right? But in the 1990s, again, this economic development as a strategy did not succeed, did not met with expected level of objectives. Why? Is because fruits of economic development did not sustain, first of all, and fruits of economic development were not egalitarian. Means poorer, poor households becoming poorer and richer households becoming richer and richer. And many of the households were not able to take active participation in the developmental dialogue or in the developmental journey, in the sense that households were not well educated, were not built up their capacity, human development capacity. So that's why they were unable to Participate in the developmental dialogue means they were unable to prepare the plans and implement the plans, evaluate the plans and monitor the plans meant for them. So therefore, the economists thought that due to lack of human capital or capability, people were not able to participate in the developmental journey. So that's why focus shifted from economic development to human development in 1990s, right? So like that, again, because of the lack of time, I will not tell you, but complete the circle. So again, focus from human development to women empowerment in 1995. And from women empowerment to inclusive growth in 2000. From inclusive growth to current focus is Atmanirbhara, self-reliance. Get my point? So this is what is known as conceptual analysis, conceptual content analysis. There are two types of content analysis. One is conceptual, another one is relation. So in the case of conceptual, yes, if you, I have read the literature related to or collected the data related to this one, the growth to development to human development to empowerment to Atmanirbhara. So I can connect this is like this, or I analyze this like this. So growth focus shifted from economic growth to economic development, and economic development to human development, and human development to women empowerment, and women empowerment to inclusive growth, and inclusive growth to correct one is Atmanirbhara Bharata.
So Atmanirbhar Bharat is stand alone means it's the meaning of stand alone or making some small scale industry.
Self-reliance. Self-reliance. Using the resources, our own resources, our own talent pool, skill, resources, technology, everything. Using our own resources, technology, skill, manpower, everything, and produce goods and then services and export to outside, other countries and become global leader.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you.
That is what is known as Atmanirbhara Bharata. Not depending on the other countries or any other things. We have lots of resources, lots of technology, and lots of energy, skill, everything. So you can use our own resources and produce goods and services and export to different parts of the globe and become global leader. So that is what is known as Atmanirbhara or self-reliance.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
This is what
Sir,
is
Sir, I have a question, not regarding this subject, but I don't know when I met. I don't know. This is the time to ask. When when our economic growth is very slow, we termed it is a Hindu growth rate. Now we are Hindu growth rate. When we are now increasing our growth rate, now we are calling Atmanirbhar Bharat. Why not Hindu Nirbhar Bharat? I think is it a discriminatory term? When we are slow, we call it Hindu growth rate. That I want to clarify because I am a law student. I don't know about economics. I know this. There is a discriminatory policies. Then we call Hindu Atmanirbhar Bharat. When we are low, we call Hindu growth rate, sir. Please explain.
No. The reason is, the reason behind this is different. See, for more than 3 decades or 4 decades, growth rate of the Indian economy was centering around 3.5. In the mid 90s also, 90s, 80s, mid 90s, 80s, 3 decades, almost 3 decades. Growth rate of the GDP of India was stagnant. At what rate? 3.5. So that is termed as Hindu. Hindu means Hind, backward, low like this. Hindu growth rate like that, like it's not as termed it as on economics. So when growth rate started to increase, why should we call again Hindu growth rate? It's not good, na? So Atmanirbhar Bharat is something different. It's not related to Hindu. Atmanirbhara, see, if you are depending on outside the country for any other things, they'll dictate the terms. See, when you have energy, everything you have, why you are not making use of them optimally, efficiently, and then export different parts of the country. Make other country to depend on India instead of making India to depend on other countries. So that is Atmanirbhara's focus. So why should we call Hindu self-reliance or Hindu Atmanirbhar? No need, na? Hindu.
No, sir. I am asking that because they termed as a slow growth rate as a Hindu growth rate. That's why I am asking. Is it a discriminatory?
Why they ask? Why they consider it? Because for more than 3 decades, growth rate of the Indian economy was stagnated at 3.5% only. So that is Hindu growth rate like that. At that time, maybe economist Krishna some termed it. And now we cannot, no need to term. We are becoming global third largest economy by 2025 or 2028. Why should we go back to the Hindu? Okay, that is something debate is there, but coming to the point here, otherwise we'll retrack and then miss the information that I need to discuss within a stipulated period of time. Here, conveners are waiting to complete this within 11:30. What is time, Mama?
11:45.
Okay, 11:48. Okay. So this is one. Similarly, relationship. You can also establish relationship between consumption and expenditure like that. Some and narrative analysis. Say this story narrating. You can read any literature and then narrate one story, or you can collect the information from a particular tribal. So their story you can narrate. You can write. So that is known as narrative analysis. You can narrate. You can describe the life of a particular community or particular category people, maybe oldest people, below people, and HIV affected people. You can narrate their story, their living conditions. So that is also that is one type of analysis that is known as narrative analysis. And we also have discourse analysis. So discourse is like dialogue between two persons. It is like a drama. In the drama also you can see one person says something, other person have to say something. So therefore you can have a discourse kind of analysis of a particular group, particular event, particular community. So that is known as discourse analysis. And another one is framework analysis. So you can have two types of variables. One side you can have education, other side you can have their employment. So you can see, you can describe the story like, okay, as education improves, what will be the employment opportunities? Whether employment opportunities will increase or not. Or similarly, as education improves, what about their habits? Bad habits or good habits. So like that, you can keep two variables in the analysis. So one variable having relationship with other variables. So that is framework analysis. You can also have a caste-wise analysis and education-wise. So as education improves, how caste behaves. I mean, where the rate of literacy is higher, if it is higher among scheduled caste or scheduled tribe or other groups. So like that, we can have one framework where you can have two important variables and make an in-depth analysis. So that's what is known as framework analysis. And the last one is ground theory. The ground theory that is based on the interaction with some people. Here you can use this ground theory to develop some hypothesis or formulate some hypothesis or model. As I gave an example relating to smoking. Okay, you can have discussion with smokers, all smokers, then you will get to know one theory, one hypothesis or one model. Or similarly, if you have discussion with some mobile users and non-mobile users, if you discuss have discussion with mobile users, you will get to know some trend, maybe related to their knowledge, maybe related to their health, maybe related to their investment, or maybe related to their participation in the economic or non-economic activity. So we can develop some hypothesis. What you can develop afterwards, say for instance, those who use mobile extensively, their thinking capacity will come down. Or in other words, you can also have discussion with people who are making use of ChatGPT. ChatGPT, you can understand that? ChatGPT is one AI, artificial intelligence technology, where our researchers are quite frequently making use for the analysis of the data, review of literature, identification of research gap. For this purpose, ChatGPT is used. You can have discussion with person who have used the ChatGPT and then person who have not used the ChatGPT. As far as the critical thinking is concerned, you obviously develop one hypothesis that yes, person who are making use of ChatGPT for data analysis, their self-thinking is less, critical thinking is less, and problem solving skill will also be less. Are you following me? Compared to others who do not make use of ChatGPT. So this is what is the hypothesis. But by collecting the data, you can test this hypothesis. So this is what is known as ground theory analysis. So these are the 5 important types of data analysis which you can find in the qualitative data, qualitative research method. Coming to the last important point, merits and demerits of qualitative research. Friends, qualitative research method is not a magic bullet. It doesn't mean that it is free from demerits. It has both merits and demerits. What are the important merits? Not all. Some of them are listed here. It is much cheaper than qualitative research method. Why it is cheaper is because on the spot you can collect the information. Say for instance, focus group interview. Yes, you can gather some of the respondents from which you are going to collect the information and collect the information on the spot itself. So it's cheaper. But in the case of survey method, what you do? In the survey method, you have to print the questionnaire and interview and then go for data collection house to house and come back and then feed the data into computer and prepare the table. That it requires lots of time, isn't it? So this is here there in the quantitative, lots of money you have to spend, lot of time you have to spend, right? So here you no need to spend much money and no need to spend time also. So this is much cheaper. It is better method used to understand in-depth motivations, in-depth analysis. In the case of quantitative, that is survey method, the process you cannot capture. The process of poverty you can say, process of alienation of asset you can say, process of disempowerment you can say, process of marginalization you can say. You can understand, I think, these concepts. So process forces behind alienation of the asset, deprivation of asset, deprivation of the opportunity you cannot capture through survey method. But in the focus group interview, face-to-face interview, observation method, you can collect the process or the forces beyond deprivation of opportunities by some households, or forces are the process beyond alienation of the asset. Like this, you can collect better through qualitative method of research than quantitative. And even feelings also, feelings of the consumers, experience of the some community, you can better collect through qualitative research than quantitative. And qualitative research is can improve the efficiency and effectiveness of quantitative research. When you make use of certain methods of data collection like focus group interview, quality of quantitative research will improve. So this is what some of the important merits you can say. But at the same time, this
Sir.
qualitative research method also have demerits. Yeah, I'll come to this and then it will open for discussion. Okay.
Yes, sir.
See,
Yes,
in
sir.
case of qualitative research, sample is very small, right? Very small, maybe 10 groups, 25 groups, 30 people you can have it. So it's very, when the sample size is very small, it's very small, but not necessarily representative. But you cannot generalize the findings. When the sample is very small in size and collect some information, that knowledge you cannot generalize it. The whole of the society or whole of the village is like that. That's one weakness is there. And so that it's very difficult to generalize the results. Sample is very small and results cannot be generalized and findings lack adequate reliability and validity. Adequate. Still, what happens is that in the group, people, one person if say something, others simply keep quiet because of lack of fairness. You get my point? Suppose wage rate, related wage rate, one man says 400, though it is 600, other people keep quiet. Why should we? Because this fellow very arrogant, so therefore we cannot really counter argue him. So like that, if they keep quiet, other people keep quiet when the false information is given by other sample respondent, then it suffers from reliability and then validity. That possibility is there. What happens in the village? All people who gather there may not be having homogeneous. One is very rich, one is poor, or one is educated, one is dominating, one is upper caste, one is lower caste. If this kind of group is there, one upper caste household says something, other lower caste people simply they sit. They have to keep mum. If they argue something, if they say something else, afterwards they quarrel. Hey, why you told? Why said 400 visit? Why you should have kept quiet? Why you told 600? If you say 600, these people don't provide any opportunities like that. They think. So therefore, there's also a possibility of data to be not reliable. That's one. And findings are more likely to be biased by the researcher's own opinion. Sometimes researcher is not free from any bias. The interpretation and the findings are likely to be biased as per the researcher's background. Suppose the researcher is belonging to very poor people, and his findings may be in favor of poor people. Or in other words, if a researcher is belonging to upper caste households, the findings interpretation that he collect from from the research may be in favor of upper caste households. So therefore, there is also possibility of getting biased information or biased interpretation and all. So friends, this qualitative research method also has merit and demerit, but overall, I don't suggest that only you depend on quantitative or only you depend on qualitative. You can combine both. In your research study, though I can understand many of you are focusing on quantitative research method only by collecting the data by way of survey method or interview method or questionnaire method, and then do some statistical analysis, this, that all, because all softwares are available. Okay, you can do it. But in addition to that, wherever it is possible, you can use the qualitative method of data collection or the qualitative method of data analysis also, content analysis, ground theory analysis. There are many types of analysis are there, so you can make use of it, and accordingly you can improve the quality of research, because nowadays quantity is not important, quality is important. I told one information. India ranks at 4th at the global level as far as scientific publications, article publications are concerned. But as far as citation is concerned, it ranks at 9th. Why it is 9th? Which means that many people are not citing your work. Why your work is not citing means your work is not qualitative. So therefore, in order to improve the quality of your research, I suggest that yes, make use of some methods of data collection, qualitative methods of data collection or qualitative method of data analysis. So these words, this message, I stop it here for the first session. Already it is late by 30 minutes or 25 minutes. So it's now open for question or discussion for maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes, depending on the situation. Thank you very much. Now it is open for discussion. Any questions related to this presentation? And your own questions at the end you can have it. Related
Sir,
to
I have one doubt.
you can raise some questions, and your
Yes.
own subject specific after the second session. Let us not waste our time for that. Your personal any research problems, any doubts, any questions are there other than this presentation, that can be put after the second session. So now, any questions with respect to this presentation, you are most welcome. Yes, someone is raising.
Sir, in case of observation method, like I go to the field and I observe something from the respondents, like how to make it analysis, sir?
It depends on with what objectives you are observing.
Okay.
Suppose your study is related to maybe women empowerment. I'm just giving an example. I don't
Yes.
know what is your nature of the study.
Okay, sir.
Women empowerment. Okay, you observe the village in the morning. You observe in the evening. In the evening, you observe. So you observe in the morning what you can observe. Yes, who are involved in daily morning activities like bringing water and cleaning their in front house, cleaning their houses in front road, in front of their house, who are involved in cleaning
Yes.
inside the house, outside the house, who are bringing fuel, who are bringing water, who are bringing vegetables. You can observe, na?
Yes.
Men are going or women are going. When women are going, you can think that they are empowered. See, suppose women are going to buy some vegetables, buy some grocery, are going to bank. You can, oh yes. Earlier, women were confined to within 4 walls of house. Now they are coming out on their own and then going to the shop and going to market. Like that, you can, right now, you can get some idea, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And in the evening also, who are coming from the village, from the farm, men or women, depending on the event that you observe, you can prepare one dialogue box.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
And even also you can observe which households are located where? In the village, there are upper street, there are streets where cleanliness is there, right?
Yes.
Road is good, drainage is also good, water facilities are also available, and there are households also where road is not good, water is not available, some sludge, some stagnated water. So you can just see which households are located in which kind of environment. You can understand.
Yes, sir.
You can link with the accordingly you can link with your other parameters. Suppose
Okay, sir.
households belonging to upper caste, located in good district, their road is good, drainage facility is also good, water is also good, right? School is also there, and post office are also there. Facilities are also nearby these upper caste households. Then you can understand their health. You can link with their health. You can link with their income. You can link with their living conditions. You can link with their education level. Get my point. On the other hand, households which are located in drainage, a very poor environment, road is not good, drainage, water stagnated, water facility is also far away. Just there, you can link with this kind of environment. You can look into the households, their health conditions. You can link. Isn't it? Get my point.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Interlinkages are there. You can capture that interlinkages by way of observation.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So, in your experience, sir, whether you get any bad experience for focus group interview, sir? Whether you get any?
Never, because I conducted even PR techniques in Vijayawada. Vijayawada, there is one NGO, Sangmitra Service Society. Sanghamitra Service Society, there is one Vijayawada, you can understand, Andhra Pradesh, there is one district, Vijayawada. There I conducted PR techniques, where I conducted focus group interview relating to wealth ranking. I'll tell you what is wealth ranking later on. And in Tamil Nadu also, Vellore. There's Vellore, one district in Tamil Nadu. There's one NGO called SAVE, Self-Help Association for Women Empowerment. So there I conducted same wealth ranking exercise, and also social mapping where I have done. Social mapping. I'll tell you later on in the next session what is social mapping. Social mapping I have done it, resource mapping I have done it, wealth ranking I have done it. So there I did not face any problem, because it requires support of the local people. Without the support of the local people, you cannot do this kind of exercise.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
It's a collective effort. Difficult exercise. You cannot alone. You cannot do it. We need to have multidisciplinary team.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
So with the help of the local NGOs, self-help groups, you can better exercise this PR techniques. Participatory role of person.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. And if it is possible, please share your the questionnaire, sir, if it is possible.
My PPT I can share. A questionnaire, what type of questionnaire you mean?
Yeah, focus group interview.
25 years back, I don't know. I have 30 years back, 97, 98, I did this relating to poverty alleviation studies of NGOs. I have a book written by D. Rajshekhar when I was working in Isaac, Bangalore. There I conducted, I was involved. While 1% is not possible. I was also involved in the execution of this PR techniques in Vellore and then in Vijayawada. There I had this list of information where the book is there. Poverty alleviation, I can send the reference, you can buy it.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Any other?
Sir, regarding these challenges, sir. No. Sir, am I audible?
Regarding?
These challenge issues, ethical challenges. What are the key ethical considerations when conducting qualitative research for policy making, sir, especially when working with vulnerable population?
Okay. You are working for vulnerable population. So,
what are the key ethical considerations, sir, when conducting
ethics, right?
When conducting qualitative research on policy making? Recently we applied for a we sent a proposal to ICSR regarding this religious conversion on tribal population regarding Chenchus, sir, in Andhra.
what is the problem that you are raising?
I'm raising that ethical consideration, sir, when conducting qualitative research for policy making.
So what do you want to do? You want to do PRA technique or focus group into what is that? So to be specific,
Focus
general
group.
ethical consideration, I'll tell you. So if you are not very specific, so first of all, when you conduct qualitative research is a vast, na. What you are asking, I don't know, because if you are conducting some focus group interview or participatory method you are using or observation method you are using. For different things, we have different consideration, right? Ethical consideration. Say, general consideration is even it's applicable for qualitative research also. Researchers should be open mind. First condition. Researchers should be open mind, you can understand. Researchers should not be biased by any caste, creed, any background. Hello. And second condition is he should not be dominating. He should not give lecture. Should listen. He or she should listen what your respondent they are sharing their life experience. So one is open mind, no dominating role, and one has to play a facilitating role and collect the things as it is. There should not be any cosmetics, overstatement or understatement. These are the some general ethical considerations I'm sharing. But to be specific, I don't know what exactly for conduct of focus group. Yes, something we should have some consideration or participatory observation or something kind of things. Is it clear?
Sir will be going to
Yes, sir.
asking why
I was not in
ICSR will be rejected this his proposal, sir. That is the
Why?
reason he asking, sir.
Okay, why research proposals rejected, right?
No, not. It's not the question, sir. I don't know.
What is the specific question that you are raising? These are the ethics, ethical consideration. The ethical consideration of researcher is different and funding agency is different. I am not able to follow what kind of ethics you are asking.
Regarding this approach, sir, approach by the researcher.
Okay, approach.
Approach. There, some people are judgmental approach.
Yes.
There is a prejudice.
Yeah, we should not be prejudiced. You should be open mind. That's what I'm telling you. You should have open mind, neutrality. We cannot be biased by any other in the research proposal also or collection of the data also. There should not be any biasness, prejudice.
Yes, sir.
Yes. See, there are certain. I'm not saying that only you have to prepare research proposal focused on qualitative research method only. You can prepare research proposal where you can combine both wherever it is possible, so that acceptability of the research proposal will be more. Nowadays, people are focusing only on quantitative data, quantity. That doesn't really make any sense unless otherwise it is supported with some qualitative information. So therefore, UGC or ICS are focusing on what is known as hybrid research. Hybrid research. Hybrid research is nothing but it is a combination of both qualitative and quantitative method of research. So wherever in methodology also, wherever it is possible, you can also mention that yes, focus group interview is also adopted to collect the information like that. So selection of the research proposal depends on the quality of research proposal. Because a large number of research proposals have gone to the ICSR this time, and therefore they have scrutinized based on the quality of the research proposal. If your research proposal is qualitative, good one, obviously it will get selected. Yes. Any other thoughts?
No, sir.
Shall we stop here how much time?
15 minutes.
What time we can say?
12:30.
12:30, yeah.
Yes.
12:30 ಎಲ್ಲರೂ
Okay, 12:30, again we'll reassemble and we'll start second session, that is on methods of data collection, focusing on PRA, participatory rural appraisal. Is it okay? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
At 12:30.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir.
Method is one of the important method of data collection in quantitative method of research. And PLA or PI. PLA is nothing but participated learning and action. PLA. That is the PLA is the input version of PLA. So methods of data collection under PLA and where PLA techniques can be used, and then what are the important limitations of PLA. And actually, PLA is a one separate course in some of the universities. So here, in 1.5 hour, I'll be covering very important aspects of PLA. See, research is not the one-time affair, or it's not like overnight or fortnight you can complete the research and then submit the thesis. It is a process-oriented. So, based on the activities of research, I broadly classify it to 5 important stages of research. This is also known as phases of research in social science. So, first stage is identification of research problems and selection of research topic. So, our research activity starts with identifying some typical research issues, and finally we select the topic, right, or PhD or any project work or whatsoever it is. So that is the first step. So how do we identify research issues or research problem? Basically through review of literature, right? Review of literature. We do extensive review of literature. We interact with the research guide and friends and the person related to that, and identify gap, research gap. So that is the second phase. Say, third phase is formulation of research questions and hypotheses. Based on the review of literature and identification of the research gap, we generally formulate research questions which can be addressed by collecting primary secondary data, and we'll also formulate hypotheses. So that is the third stage. Fourth stage is planning for research design. Based on our research questions and hypotheses, we generally plan for research design, how best we can execute this research activity, nothing but planning for a research design. In the research design, that's in the fourth stage, again the subphase, that is sampling and size. Sampling, what type of sampling we are using, that is the probability and probability. What is the size of the sampling? That is the phase. Next phase, that's 4.2 is collection of information or data, that is execution phase. And after that, we'll have collection of the data. Next important stage is data analysis and interpretation. That's basically preparation of the tables, graphs, or pictures, and thereby interpretation of that. Once that is done, the last important phase of research is the report writing. So broadly, in social science, we can classify the entire research activity into 5 important categories. All these 5 important categories of research we cannot address in one night or overnight, right? So based on the nature of activity, we can classify these kind of research. So my focus is where collection of information or collection of data, that is execution phase. So this is what area where I am going to talk now. So you understood what the important phases of the research. You can just see how we can start and where we can end. So this is the entire phases of research in social science you can see. Coming to collection of data or information. As I already discussed in the previous talk, there are six important methods of data collection. One is we have survey methods, where one quantitative method of research extensively use survey method as a method to collect the quantitative data or quantitative information. Second one is interview method, face-to-face interview can be used to collect the data or information. And third one is observation method. Then we have case study method. And fifth one is rapid rural appraisal, RRA, rapid rural method. And another one is PRA, that is participatory rural appraisal. So I'll just make distinction. You know, survey method, you know, interview method also, you know, observation method, you know, case study method also, you know. Last two methods are very new, I think, for many of the students who have attended this course. In the Conventional University, the research methodology course, I don't think that this RRA and PRA are extensively discussed and then they are delivered. So rapid rural appraisal, that is PRA is improved version of rapid rural appraisal. So in the case of rapid rural appraisal, the researcher can directly go to the village and gather some key informants in the village and collect the information. Say for instance, if a researcher wants to know the cropping pattern, yield of a crop from the farmers, he or she can go to the village and gather some farmers, and he can ask, he or she can ask the questions related to what is the major crop cultivated by the village. So farmers can come up with some information that yes, Jawari is the major crop. What is the same? Maybe 55% or 60%. Jawari, then after which crop? They may say maize, they may say other crops also like that. So therefore, you can by collecting this information, we researcher can understand that yes, the Jawari is the major crop for collection of the major crop for the farmers in the village, and you also can ask. So rapid rural appraisal on the sitting like this, you can see the second picture. You can immediately ask some questions and get the information immediately. That is a rapid rural appraisal. But this rapid rural appraisal method started suffering some validity, some reliability of the information given by the farmers. So therefore, now this RRA has been improved into participatory rural appraisal, where they can actively participate in collection of the information, analysis of the information, and preparation of the action plan. So that is what is known as participatory rural appraisal. So participatory rural appraisal is one of the most important widely used method of data collection by the developmental practitioners, NGOs, and policymakers in many of the developed and developing economy, especially developing countries, especially the rural areas. So my focus is on participatory rural appraisal as a method of data collection. The question is, what is this rapid rural appraisal? Say, rapid rural appraisal is a family research method. It's a family research method that is actually that research PRA actually involves local people. For what? Local people are involved for collection of data and analysis of the information about their own livings, about their own living conditions, and allowing them to share their knowledge and perspectives to form developmental programs. So PRA techniques is it is nothing but it is one of the important research methods where local people are involved in collection of the information, involved in analysis of the information by sharing their own research living experience, life experience, and local conditions to what to form the programs. So here, formula important. It is a combination of methods where local people are involved. For what local people are involved? For collection of the information, for analysis of the information, for preparation of the plan for their own development. So this is what is known as PRA technique. But in survey method, what we do? In the survey method, researcher will prepare the questionnaire or lecture schedule as per the research objectives or as per research care. Accordingly, he or she will go to the village, go to the house, respondent, and collect the information. There, in the survey method, we generally suck the information, like blood dogs suck the blood. We suck the information from the respondent, but respondent will not get any benefit, and there won't be any conscientization awareness on the part of the respondent in the case of survey method. Whereas in the case of survey method, we as a researcher simply ask questions to get the information. They are not involved in analysis, preparation of the plan, but in the PR method, it is a method where local people, not only one person, local people, group of the people are involved for collection of the required information and interpretation of the information, that is analysis of the information data, and also prepare the plan, action plan for the development of the village or development of the community. So this is what is known as PR techniques. Even Robert Shepard, one of the developmental economists of the world, says that PRA is an approach. PRA is a method for what? For learning about what? Learning about the rural life and learning about the conditions of the life from the people, with the people, by the people. So therefore, so that people are involved here, water. Researcher is involved for water. Researcher is involved to learn from the people about water, living conditions from the people, with the people, by the people. So this is what is the PR techniques generally it is defined. So it is a very shortcut method for data collection, and it is a methodology for action research. You might have heard action research. What is action research? Research is the research which is handled with action. So that is what is known as action research. So it is a methodology which is used for action research and utilize a range of techniques. So here, PR techniques involves group of the people, local people from different background. If we have households of 200 with different socio-economic stratification, some households from all levels, some households from a scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, minority, OBC, and also with different backgrounds, maybe small, normal, medium. So each household in the group will take a very active role and share their experience on behalf of their own community or their own street. So therefore, PRA techniques is nothing but it is one of the research methods where local people are involved in collection of the information, analysis of the information, and also preparation of the plan. And here in the other side, the role of outsider, I mean research team. Here the research team is a multidisciplinary team. From one person, it's not possible. We have to. The research team consists of different backgrounds. There must be a person from economic side. There must be a person from psychology, sociology, anthropology. So, team of researchers must consist of different backgrounds. So that only we can look at the research issues from multidisciplinary perspective. Otherwise, it will be a single discipline. So then only we'll say, for instance, poverty. Poverty it should be looked into, looked at, examined from different angles, from the perspective of economic or sociology, psychology, and other disciplines. So then only we can understand the concept of poverty in a total thought. This PRA is based on, that is participative role appraisal, based on some principles. What are they? What is people's participation? In the case of survey method, people are not participating, and people simply, person respondent simply sitting, and he is asked some questions, and information is provided by the him. But in the case of PRA, people will take active participation. Participation in what? Participation in collection of the information relating to their households, their household assets, or village facilities related to the village available at the villages, maybe water facility, banking facility, road facility, school facility, healthcare services, so like that. People participation is the beauty of this PI. But in the server method, only one to one, face to face, one to one, whatever the information is given by the respondent is the information only. But here, people will participate in social mapping, source mapping, health ranking, and focus group interview, so that they will provide a real and relatively better information to the researcher. So other principle is teamwork. Here, basically, it is a teamwork. It's not single. It involves a group of people with different discipline and different background, interaction, analysis, and also interpretation of the information or interpretation of the data. So from the people respondent side, people are there with different background, maybe caste, maybe social, maybe economic background, or religion background. So different people with different background will be there from the respondent side, and from the researcher side, there's a team of research consists of different disciplines, not only economics but also commerce, psychology, sociology, anthropology, even other disciplines also, so that we can have better understanding of the rural conditions or better understanding of the rural situations, and we can come up with a very good reliable information and then piece of research. So that's the teamwork is involved. In the third one is the flexibility. So there is no hard and fast rule in the case of PRA as far as methodology is concerned, as far as implementation is concerned, as far as questions to be asked is concerned. But in the case of survey method, what happens is that as per the predetermined questions based on the objectives and such gap, we generally ask question one by one or in order. But there is no flexibility as far as question to be asked is concerned. But here in PRA, lots of flexibility is there, depending on the situation, depending on the question that we raise, depending on the answer that we get from the respondent, we can raise the questions. So there is no hard and fast rule like that. Okay, this question should be asked, and after this question should be asked, and this is no, nothing like that. So therefore, lot of flexibility is there in the execution of the PRA technique as a method of data collection. And diversity also you can see. A diversity in collection of the data analysis, there won't be any, because research is a multidisciplinary nature. So suppose if you want to see the, if you want to study the poverty rate, or migration rate, or malnutrition, or any other such. So poverty is not a single variable phenomenon. Poverty is a multivariate. So poverty has to be defined from different perspectives, not only in terms of per capita income or per household expenditure. It has to be defined from different angles also. Lack of literacy is also an indication of poverty. Lack of social is also an indication of poverty. And illness is also a sign of poverty. So therefore, lack of opportunity is also depression is also a sign of poverty. So therefore, diversity. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No. Can you hear me?
Okay, sir, no problem.
Yes, okay. Clarity is there, no, from your side, right? Yes, diversity in the sense that information will not be monotonic. Different forms of information will be collected. As I said, relating to poverty is not just only in terms of lack of per capita income or consumption expenditure. Poverty may also be in the different forms. So diversity is the beauty of PI. Because we need to explore the contradiction and exceptions. Why contradiction? Why exceptions are there in a particular phenomenon? And that's one. And using optimal ignorance. That means that it avoids unnecessary details and irrelevant data. There is a less scope for collection of unwanted information. So therefore, optimal ignorance is also another principle, and optimization. It ensures optimal utilization of time, quality, accuracy, and then timeliness. Because there is always a trade-off between quantity and the quality. Suppose if you collect information from large number of households, quality will suffer. So always there is a trade-off between quantity and then quality as far as information is collected. But here, in the PRA techniques, it brings the balance between quality and the quantity. Quality is more important than the quantity of data collection. So therefore, PRA techniques ensures quality, relevance, accuracy, and also timeliness. So this is what is known as optimization of the these variables. And we also have another principle that is offsetting bias. See here in the PRA techniques, there is no rush. But in the case of survey method, generally we look at the time, okay, just we'll ask questions. And from the respondent side also, if you are asking more questions, he or she may also get irritated. And then they may be rushing. And from our side, researchers side also may be rushing. And from their side also more time. So in the PRA techniques, we relax. We won't rush to ask questions. We listen then lecture. We can listen from the respondents in the case of PRA. We won't do lecture. And we probe them instead of passing the persons to the next question. And we unimpose. We generally do not impose. Right? So that's why by doing so, by relaxing, by probing, by unimposing, by listening them, we can avoid the biasness. Biasness you can understand, no? There won't be any bias in collection of the data, interpretation of the data. So therefore, the beauty of the principle of PRA techniques is reducing the biasness. So that is what we can ensure here. And other important is triangulation. Yes, by using the method called triangulation, we can avoid the false information to be collected. Because in the group, if someone is providing false information, others are there to rectify. Say, for instance, relating to the households, describing the household characteristics of a particular community or a particular person. So one person is describing the household characteristics wrongly, say in terms of whether the household is kacha or pakka, household is provided with drinking water or not, household is having access to toilet or not, household is having TV or not, household is having other vehicles or not. When describing this kind of features, one person suppose say wrong things, wrong information, others are there to rectify. So that is the beauty of this triangulation. So you can cross check whether the information given by 2 to 3 people is right or wrong. You can cross check in the group itself. But in the case of PRA techniques, survey method, the triangulation is not possible. Whatever the information is given by the respondent, that is the final one. So we believe it. So therefore, triangulation is not possible. So that's why triangulation is possible in case of PRA, but in the case of survey method, survey method you can also ask information given by X person to Y person, but Y person may not tell truth. Why should they tell truth? So therefore, Y person may not tell correct information given by the X person in the case of survey method. But here in the PRA, it's quite possible to triangulate and then correct the data whether it is valid or not valid. And other one is learning from the people and learning with the people. Here in the PRA, group of the people who are involved in collection of the data, analysis of the situation, and interpretation of it, and preparation of the plan. So therefore, we as a researcher learn many things from the respondents, and I'll also involve in analysis of the situation. So that is learning from the people and learning with the people is the most important principle of PRA. Other PR techniques we have generally people make use of local materials. Later on, how this social mapping and resource mapping is done with the local materials like dirt. Like we can use stones to describe household characteristics. So we can use sticks also, small sticks you can use it, and you can also use rangoli with different colors to describe the characteristics of the household. We can also use charts, color paper you can use. But here there is no use of computer or electronic or any other devices. Only local materials will be used to describe the household situations or household conditions or the local resources available in the village. So these are the some important principles of PRA upon which this has been written.
So stones also we are going to reflect in, sir.
Small stones also we can use it to describe. Say for instance, one stone can be used to describe whether the a household is having car or not. Similar, paper, white paper also you can use. Paper, small paper. I'll show you little later. Local materials only, you can sticks also you can use. Rangoli powder you can use. Some small stones, pebbles you can use to describe a particular information. Once one stone is used for particular information, same stone can be used for that information for all households. That is the PRA techniques. I'll show you later. When you see the picture, then you will get to know. Just this table shows clear-cut distinction between survey method of data collection and PRA method of data collection. I have selected 12 parameters so that you can compare. One long time. Survey method is a long time. Suppose if you have to collect information from 200 or 400 households, then what you have to do, just think. You have to print the questionnaire or interview schedule and go to the field work, go to the village, collect the information from house to house and come back and then feed the data. And so 6 months together, people take, I know, months together, they take the time to collect the information and then prepare the tables. But here, in the case of PRA technique, short time. You don't have to spend so much of time with some checklist, some information that you need to collect from the respondent. You can go to the village and on the day itself you can gather the information that you need. So therefore, it doesn't require maybe 2-3 visits. It may require. First time you can have and introduce ourselves, build up the labo. Next time you can fix the date for collection of the data from through PRA. And the third time you can finalize it. 2-3 visits you can finalize the entire data collection. You can come up with some reports for report also. So therefore, the survey method is based on long time approach, and then this is short time. And the survey method is say high cost. You have to print the questionnaire, and you can be printed and enter the data. Again, it requires so much of money to spend. But here the PRA is a low cost. So here survey method is fixed, it's a flexible. Survey method, yes, you have to ask the questions as per the questionnaire you prepare. You cannot really deviate it, right? Because it is agreed by your guide also. So if you deviate questions from one household to another household, you cannot really compile it. So some more use. So in the survey method, all the model of questions, set of questions are fixed. But in the PRA, it's not like that. It's a flexible. Depending on the questions you raise and depending on the answer the respondent gives, you can again change the question. You can change the model of question, type of question, all. So there's a lot of flexibility there. Only thing is that you can collect the information, the required information. And the survey method, low participation. Respondent participation is very less. We simply ask them to sit and then ask questions, and we'll get the information. But here it's not like that. High people's participation. We have a team of respondent with different backgrounds. They participate in providing the information or trying the diagrams. They participate in the social mapping, source mapping. So many things are there. Little later I'll tell you. So low participation here in PR is high participation. Where there is high participation, then lots of benefits are there. There is a less possibility of providing wrong information, and even people are also get awareness. They are conscientized. They create there some sort of awareness will also be created so that that will be quite helpful for them. They will also get benefit. But here in survey method, the researcher will respondent will not get any benefit. They don't get benefit from the research, but here PRA techniques, they get benefit in terms of consultation, in terms of getting awareness, in terms of getting some knowledge of their own village. Again, heavy statistical analysis. In case of survey method, we use ANOVA or tabulation, frequency, t-test, EF-test, regression, correlation kind of analysis you do in survey method. But here there is not that kind of statistical analysis. More of qualitative, descriptive, qualitative analysis we can see in the PRA. And formal interview in case of survey, but here informal interview, informal discussion. And questionnaires and predetermined interviews should be used in the survey, but here semi-structured interview or checklist, some unstructured questions are prepared and then accordingly asked the information that and information is collected. In case of survey, it is a positive sample, but here the PRA is a random sample. Randomly, we can ask some people to come from the certain community. Here, what happens in a positive sample in survey method, researcher will go to the village and those who are available, they will collect the information. That's what it is, right? So generally, researcher will go to the village at what time they go? They go around 10:30, 11 o'clock. And at 10 and 11 o'clock, who will be there in the house, in the village? All the key informants of the households will go to the field, and they are in the field, in the farm field. And who are there in the house? Only old age people, and those who do not involve actively in the household economic activity, they are available. So from them we collect the information. So that information to be collected may be reliable, may not be reliable, right? So that is opportunistic sample. Opportunistic sample means those who are available in the house at the time when we go, from them we will collect the information. So that is there's a possibility of giving the wrong information. But here PRA, random sample, means we ask generally to come some people from any community, maybe scheduled caste. So from scheduled caste, we ask some people to come randomly. And in scheduled tribe also, some people, upper caste also, some people, minority, some people. So like that, we request the key villagers, key informants of the village to represent their community and participate in provision of information, collection of information, analysis of information. This is the beauty of PR. And enumerators, here only single enumerator, that single person to collect the data in case of survey method. But in case of multidisciplinary, multidisciplinary team will be there. We will be having researcher from economics, sociology, psychology, anthropology, at least 4 or 5 researchers with different background. So then information will be multidisciplinary and analysis will also be multidisciplinary. So we can get the very qualitative information. And role is dominating. Here in the survey method, we dominate. He asks questions, he asks questions, so the respondent will give the answer. So it's a dominating role. But here it's not like that. Facilitating. So the PRA research team will facilitate. They help the respondent or villagers to provide the information or analyze the information. So hierarchical question. So in survey method, we ask the questions in order. First this like that. But here no hierarchy. And this survey method is best for data collection. But this PRA is best for learning, understanding the process, understanding the people's opinion, people's experience, understanding the people's behavior, people's attitude, for what? For preparation of the action plan. So these are the some important features we can see both in the survey research method and the PRA. So therefore, if you look at this one, PRA method seems to be much better than survey method. I'm not criticizing survey method is not good and the PRA method is only good, but both the methods have some advantage and disadvantage. But we as a social science researcher can combine survey method of data collection as well as PRA method of data collection.
Sir, in PLA, any institution provide this training for how to conduct all those things? Reputed institution.
Yes. In the research methodology course also some trainings like this is provided, and then there are some NGOs are there. Individual consultants are there. You can invite the consultant and ask to give the training. The training is required for this, or knowledge is required. And in the research institutes also some training also going on. Whoever can attend the training, or there are some books are there. Neela Mukherjee and many. I'll give the reference list at the last. So some books are there where you can see the manuals, where you can see the steps to be followed to implement this PRA technique.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
How this PRA technique works actually? See this diagram. PRA works for the community. That is, generally it is used to understand the needs of the people. That's needs assessment. It starts with the needs assessment. Suppose you as a developmental practitioner or NGO or a person who wanted to have research with ending with action, research action or action plan, then what you can do, go and then have PRA. to understand the needs of the people. What are their needs? Education or health, what drinking water or road facility, transport facility. What are the needs of the people? So for that purpose, you can have PRA, that is focus group filter. You can have observation method. You can use. So you can understand the needs of the people through this PRA technique. Then after needs, okay, after understanding, after collecting the needs of the people, maybe education, maybe health, maybe drinking water, or maybe such kind of things. So then you can plan for that. So how we can plan with the help of the local government or district level government or state level government or NGOs also. In many places, NGO can also intervene to provide the basic needs of the people with the help of the local government. So planning, then after planning, implementation. After implementation, the people have to monitor it, whether the plans are properly implemented or not, that monitoring, then evaluation. So this is how PRA techniques works in this manner. Needs assessment, planning, implementation, monitoring, and evaluation. And after evaluation, again something needs to be revised. It can be revised. So this is how PRA techniques generally works in this fashion. Coming to the methods of data collection. See this, you can see this picture. People of rural area are from different background. Some of them are from scheduled caste or scheduled tribe, upper caste, minority, or even small farmers, marginal farmers, like that. Its respondents consist of different people with different background, so that they know the village life, village conditions, life of the particular community, or any other information. The method of you can also see here, they use the rangoli with different colors. They draw the households, and households are described with different features. Maybe kacha, pakka, or RCC, or having TV, or having any other household assets. They can use different materials to specify, to denote a particular information. So for car, they can use one stone. Similar stone is used to denote the car for other households also. Small store, maybe small vehicle, bigger one, big four vehicle, like that you can decide. Or you can also have paper, different colors, like that you can use the local materials and then ask the villagers to describe the household characteristics, describe the information that is there in the villages, like that. Come to the method of data collections under PRA. PRA primarily homogeneous method of data collection, but under the PRA different methods are there. So based on the space you can understand the location. Based on the space, based on the time, based on the relationship between the variables, PRA methods of data collection is classified into three important categories as shown here. The first category we have social mapping. Second one is resource mapping, and third one is transact walks. These are the three types of methods of data collection under PRA with respect to space, that is location. Third one is time related. The time related again we have three: timeline or trend analysis, seasonal analysis, historical transact. These are the three. And relation methods, again we have Venn diagram or chapati diagram analysis, pairwise matrix ranking, wealth ranking, focus group interview. These are the different methods of data collection under PRA. Depending on our nature of study, depending on the objectives of the study, we can choose any one of them. Okay, it's not that all the social science researchers would make use of all the 10 methods of data collection. Depending on our study, our nature of the study, objectives, purpose, we can choose any one of them so that the qualitative information can be collected and then supplemented with your survey method of data collection.
That means, sir, that we will perfectly know all these techniques, and based on that, choosing is taken into concern, sir.
Yes, exactly. You should know what is social mapping first. So if you know this social mapping, then only you choose, yes, this is needed for my study. So I'll just briefly describe what are these 10 methods of data collection with giving some example. So then you will have a perfect understanding of each one of them, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
You must know what is Venn diagram. You must know what is pairwise matrix ranking. Once you know this, then you can decide, yes, this method of data collection is suitable for us. Because Here in economics also, any one of them you can use depending on the nature of your study. Get my point?
Yes,
It
sir.
is
Yes.
not necessary that you should use all the 10 methods of data collection. Depending on your specialization, your objectives, then you can choose any one of them. Any one of them or two of them, no issue. Depending on your requirement, right? So
Yes, sir.
let me because I am asked to wind up this session by 1:30. So I have another 20 or 25 minutes of time. So let us take social mapping. Social mapping is used to show some main features of the village. See, these are the members of the village came together in one common ground, maybe playground, maybe ground of the school or panchayat, where they can draw the village map with the help of powder or goli, like that what you can see from the picture. Here they can draw the main street. Now in the village it has streets, and again in the street they can draw the houses, type of houses, structure the houses, whether it's kacha or pakka, with some denotation. They may use some rangoli powder. They can use some paper also, or some stones or sticks, so local material they can use, and they can describe the household structures and wells also, where wells are located. They can draw the well diagram with the help of the powder where it is located in the village. So they can draw well tanks, they can draw water connections, they can draw schools, they can draw hospitals, so banks, so post office, so gram panchayat, community sanitation, temples, so other whatever the information infrastructure are there in the villagers can involve in drawing all the information. So this information, why it is needed? So for suppose if you want to see where the source of water located, how many sources we in the village we have source of well, source of tank, and other taps like that, mini water tanks like that, we can understand. So how many of them are getting water from well? How many of them are getting water from mini tank or tank? So you can get information and link with their other aspects. So hospitals also. What type of hospitals are there? How many of them are visiting and banks, post office? So these are the facilities available in the village and how people are making use of it. That information you can collect. So this is one method. Social mapping is nothing but to show the village features, village facilities. That for that purpose you can use this social mapping. So then that is done. See, this is the picture. In the village, you can see the roads, streets. You can see the households with different character, kacha, pakka, semi-pakka, and you can also see the water bodies, source of water. You can also see the school. You can also see the Anganwadi. You can also see the bank where they are located. You can also see the forest area outskirt of the village. So some of these features you can share the link with that. Link with that, who are more making use of the say water, who are more accessible to water bodies, the water tank or source of water. So the households which are located nearby well or water tap or water tank, they spend less time. Households which are located to nearby the water source, they spend less time to fetch the water, save more time. So that saved time can be used to work in the farm field, right? So they can work more in the farm and they can produce more, their income will be more, their socio-economic status will be more. And the households which are located far away from the well, water sources, they have to spend more time for fetching water and less time in the farm and less production, and socio-economic status will be less. So like that, you can link with this information with other outcome. And even library. Households which are located nearby the library have more awareness. You can check also. We have checked it also. Households which are located nearby village library, community library, Napanjit library, they have more aware, having more awareness about the government programs, politics, society, everything, compared to households which are located far away. So this has been tested and proved also. So therefore, social mapping is not necessarily to be used by you all, but you need to know some of this information. You can go with social mapping. Like that, You can go on describing. Second
ಸರ್
source.
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಈಗ ಅಲ್ಲ ಗ್ರಾಮ ಪಂಚಾಯತಿಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಒಂದು ಒಂದು ಹಳ್ಳಿ ಈ ತರ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಚಿತ್ರ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಣ್ಣು ಮುಂದೆ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಾ ಸರ್? ದಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್.
Exactly. So suppose if you want to do some PRA techniques, especially the social mapping, we should have some picture in our mind where the source, what are the source located where, how they are accessible to basic needs of like drinking water, sanitation, bank, post office. So suppose post office is a bank is located nearby your households of the respondent, then generally the bank, we have to save some money, like, and we can borrow money. Something will spread. So you can also check with that. The households which are located nearby bank, nearby post offices, savings are more. There may be some exception. I'm not saying that there is exception, but there is some exceptions are there. Even households which are located far away from bank, they might have saved more money also. But general phenomenon is that the facilities which are located in the village have some influence on the households. And researcher must have some idea about the village. Researcher must have some idea about the village of the households. What type of the households are there? All of them are RCC, or many of them are Katsa, many of them are Pakka, or where the water sources are located, where the schools are located, where the healthcare services are located. So this information is very much needed for the researcher. Then only you can understand how a particular variable behaves. Income, where is income high? Is it high among the households of SCST or households of non-SCST? Where health is better, where health is lower, where savings are more, where assets are more. Like that, you can understand only when, if you have this kind of social mapping, then you will get lots of insights into that, and you will be able to write the thesis much better. Only not increase or decrease this percentage of households are having income. Why these percentage of households have this much of income? Why? It's because their land is good, they are well educated, they are involved in a very white collar job. So that's why their income is more. Like that you can interpret it. Not just simply writing income of the upper caste households is this much. Why it is this much? How do you know? You know only when you are involved in this kind of exercise. Why income of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe is low is because, see, I have seen in this social mapping, their land is very less, and no land, and most of them are illiterate, and most of them are households are very katsa, isn't it? Then you can link with the income, link with the letter of letters, link with the health status. So like that, you have to
ಸರ್
understand.
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ರಂಗೋಲಿ ಬಿಡಿಸಿ ಸರ್ ಈ ರಂಗೋಲಿ ಬಿಡಿಸಿ ನಾವು ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ ಯಾವ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳೋದು ಅಲ್ವಾ ಸರ್?
There only you can ask them, the villagers who are gathered, draw the village households, draw the first street, they draw the first main streets, sub streets. In each street you draw the households. You have to ask them. In their respective street people, they draw their households, each households. In one street, make okay 20 households. So one or two people involved in drawing the 20 households. Again, households are what type of households you describe like that, we can direct them. If a household is Katsa, you give one store. Household is Pakka, give another type of the store. Household is RCC, give another type of the store. Like that. If household is having car, give one stick. Household is having tractor, give another type of stick. Like that, you can ask the respondents to describe the household characteristics. If household is having land, give one stick. Household is having more land, give another stick. Like that, you can describe. Get my point? Then you
Yes,
can
sir.
link. And you can also create awareness among them that yes, if you are drinking good water, yes, your health is better. You can also ask the health status of the households located in the very poor location, drainage, water, stagnated water, dirty places. You can ask, okay, this street, very dirty street. What water is there? Some garbage is there. So nearby the garbage, the households are there. You can just simply ask as a researcher. You can ask what is the status of this health status of these households which are located in the garbage places or dirty places. They come up, sir, in this street. Yes, street is not good. No clean. Water stagnated and all garbage throw there like anything. So therefore, if you look at their health, health is very good, sir. Many of the household members, they suffer from one or other illness, back pain, respiratory problem, cough, like that they say. Then they will also understand that yes, cleanliness is important. If there's a cleanliness, they can compare with other states also. No, so you see this in this trade, in this tree, so the very clean, various states are good, no water stagnation, so therefore their health is good. So they can compare now. So you as a research team, consult them, create awareness that yes, cleanliness is must. If there's a cleanliness within the house and outside the house, your health is better. If your health is better, your mandates of working is better. More mandates of working, you can understand. Working days will be more. Working days more means you have more income. More income means you can send your children to the school and your living conditions is better. So like that kind of awareness can be created by the research team through this social mapping. But this kind of awareness or conscientization is not possible in the case of survey method. In the survey method, what you do? You go and then get the information that you require and then come back. You never go back and then explain the results. Have you done anybody? Nobody is doing. Nobody is going back. So respondent in the survey method is exploited. So here, not exploitation. Conscientization awareness is also created between the health and then cleanliness, between the education and then employment. Like that, we can create some awareness. Get my point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All those information we will put it on 2 or 3 pages, right, sir? Finally.
You can collect it. You can do it. Resource mapping. Resource mapping generally used to treatment plan and prepare the plan in the village. What are the type of the resources are available? What is the type of the soil? You can ask the villagers to draw the entire geographical map of the village. So the soil may not be similar in the village. Some part may be black soil, some part may be red soil, clay soil. Like that, soil can be mapped. Suppose your study is related to this natural resource related. If it's not related, no need to go further. I'm just telling all the possible methods of data collection. So resource mapping, here it is to prepare the plan, Excel plan, or some treatment plan. So type of the soil. Okay, in black, you'll be able to understand in the black soil what type of crop should be cultivated. You can suggest them. And red soil, what type of crop you can suggest. You can suggest. So minerals, what are the minerals available? What are the water tanks, rivers, grazing land, barren land, and trees and groves. So forestry, other overall village resources can be mapped and you can understand. So who are using grazing land? You can ask the questions. Who are quite frequently using the river water? So like that you can ask. So some people say that okay, grazing land you can understand that is Gomad. So grazing land is used by upper caste households, lower caste households, like that we can interpret that like that. So this is one of the method of data collection and then accordingly we can make interpretation. And water tanks also. Who are making use of water tanks more? The households which are located, the farms which are located nearby water tanks, they are more they use more of this water from the tank. So their land, their cultivation is better, their income is better, their production is better, their social status is better compared to the households where they do not have water tanks. So which means that you can tell the farmer that okay, nearby your farmlands you can have one water tank. You can make them to understand, na? In the
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
farms where water tank is there, their cropping pattern is better. They cultivate market-oriented crops, cash crop, and their production is high, their income is high, their social status is high. In your case, where no water tank, you can tell them that yes, you have a water tank in some place, and from where water can store, and from there you can also get water, and accordingly you can also cultivate better crops, commercial crops, market-oriented crops, more income, more production, more income, more better socio-economic status, right? So like that, you can ask the villagers to prepare this resource map and try to conscientize, try to create some awareness. So then they will understand the importance of the tank. So this is one, and you can also get the information. Yes, where the water is available, their cropping pattern is different, production is different. Somebody wants to study the impact of water tanks on production and productivity. You can take farms without water tank, farms with water tanks. Compare cropping pattern, production, productivity, income, socio-economic status, everything. So that's how this resource mapping is quite useful to prepare some plan. And the third one, this is just a sample picture, resource mapping sample. It is done in some of the villages where the water resources are there, where is the forestry, where is the grazing land, and how whether the grazing land is used by whom, whether water tanks are used by farmers or not, where water farms are used, how is the yield is high or not, like that. This kind of picture or diagram can be drawn by the villagers themselves and create some sort of awareness among them. That's very important. That's really good contribution by the researchers to the village. But in other method, no contribution, only we extract the information from the respondent and we come back and we get benefit in terms of getting PhD award. This is another method, transact walk. Transact walk means who can walk around the village, who can understand. See this garbage place where drainage is water is stagnated and then drainage structure is not good. So there you can link with the health status, mandates of working, income, and their education status, socio-economic status. We can link with other households where drainage is properly maintained. So this is transact walks. One research team can walk around the village and understand what are the households, what type of the households, whether SC, ST, OBC or minority, where they are located, and whether they are accessible to drinking water or healthcare facility or library, schools, post office, banking. Like that, you can have a transact walk and then collect information. Accordingly, you can understand the functioning of the village. Then this is a timeline. We can get timeline. See, over a period of time, this is another method of data collection or collection of information. Just over a period of time, so starting from 1960s or 50s till date, you can divide the decades and see water availability. Water is declining or not. What about the forest? What about the yield? You can have different parameters. So from this picture, you can understand that yes, water is declining over a period of time, groundwater level, or rainfall is declining and the water is declining. So as a result of which you can see decline the water or rainfall, what is happening to the forestry? That is third line, tree. Forest you can see it is declining. That number is given, number 00001, they are started declining. And yield also you can see 00 number is given, declining. So this information you can collect from the villagers themselves. You can ask them, draw this kind of diagram. Okay, this is the 1950, 60, 80, 90 through 2000. Like that, you can divide the time. In the first decade, what was the rain? Next decade, what was the rain? That we can ask. They can tell that this rain this decade was high and it is declining. Next decline, next decline, next decline, like that. And what about the forestry? Trees. So trees earlier it was so high when rain was high. When rain declined, trees forestry declined, and like that you can collect the information and you can also create the awareness among the respondents. They can understand that yes, there is a close association between rainfall or water conservation activities and also forestry and also yield. Get my point? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this kind of awareness can be created among the villagers, and you can also get the information and form a hypothesis. Yes, if there is a decline in the water, forest is also declining, and yield also declines. Yield declines, what will happen to the income of the villager? Income declines. If income declines, poverty increases, impoverishment increases, health conditions worsens, education also, getting education also gets difficult. So this kind of analysis you can do, and then you can focus, yes, whatever water is not at our hand. Is it at our hand? No, it's a natural gift, natural phenomenon. So whatever the rains comes, it has to be properly managed, conserved, utilized. So then only trees will grow. Otherwise, if rainwater is not properly harvested, properly not exploited, people drain to the sea, and then there won't be trees and all crops will get affected. So therefore, we can create a kind of awareness that yes, whatever the rainwater it is coming, it has to be properly conserved, properly managed, properly stored in the form of check dams or water tanks or whatever it is. So then that can be used for farm field, for cultivation of the crops or even forestry. And even groundwater level also increases, trees also grow, and even wells also have more water, borers also have more water. So lots of benefits are there. So this kind of information can be gathered, and also some sort of awareness can also be created among the respondents. Then seasonality mapping. This is timeline analysis, seasonality mapping. So seasonality mapping is also related to, we have different seasons. Different seasons like we have winter and post monsoon and then monsoon and then summer. Different seasons are there, right? So we can link with rainfall during the different season. We can link with what is happening to the rainfall, what is happening to power practices, employment, production, yield, cropping pattern, cropping yield, forestry area, milk yield. So many variables. Depending on your study, you can identify some variable and try to get the information. So different seasons are there. It's a seasonality mapping. So we have work availability. If you want to collect the information related to work availability of food, health problems, and income availability, income increasing or decreasing, household expenditure, and migration and loan. I'm just giving you some examples of some variables. You can have the variables which are required for your study. So you can see that work availability is not similar across different seasons, right? And availability of food is also not similar. Higher the numbers is higher the availability of work. Lower the numbers means lower will be the availability of the work, like that. So across all the seasons, health problems are not similar. Income level is also not similar. Household expenditure is also not similar. Migration is also not similar, and loan getting loan is also not similar, right? As per the season, when the work availability is high, food availability is also high, and health problems are also high because when they go for work during monsoon, rainy season, so their health problems are also high reported, and income is also high. So when work availability is high, availability of food is high, health problems are also high, income is also high. But household expenditure is very less in relation to income. Household expenditure high only summer season, but income is less. You can see work availability is less, income is less, so expenditure is more. And even migration where is high, migration is high when work availability is very less. Summer season migration is high compared to this monsoon and then post monsoon. And loan where is high when the work availability is less, income is less, loan is high, borrowing is high. You can just see. So this kind of information, if you want to collect, how much time and energy you have to spend under survey method, lot of time and energy you have to spend. So this kind of seasonality mapping, through seasonality mapping, you can collect lot of information, and you can also link with other variables also and create awareness among the households. Yes, this is seasonality mapping. Venn or chapati diagram. So this is Venn diagram or chapati diagram is also used to understand different rules played by institutions. In the village, we have different institutions. We have Gram Panchayati, we have school, primary school, we have health, primary health center, PSC or sub-center, post office we have, banks we have, and other institutions like that. So this Venn diagram or chapati diagram is to understand what is the role of these institutions in village transformation or in development of a particular community or a section of the society. That's one purpose. Second purpose is to understand the cause and effect. If you provide water, what will happen? If you don't provide water, what will happen? So like the cause and effect. If you provide education, what is the cause? What is the effect? So to understand the cause and effect of the variables that you are studying and understanding, searching, you can use this one. Say for instance, income and expenditure, or income and health. Like that, in order to see the cause and effect, this Venn diagram or chapati diagram as a method of data collection is used. And also association of local organizations. We have different organizations like say cooperative societies, banks, milk cooperative society, veterinary hospitals, or markets, or NGOs, self-help groups, trade cooperative society. There different organizations will be there. How they are interrelated, how they are associated for overall development of the village. So for these varieties of purposes, you can use this as a method of data collection. I'll just give you one example. It is cause and effect. See, there is a borewell you can see in a borewell in the middle. One is right side, one is left side. The left side to me, water is households which are located nearby borewell, they can spend little time. So this is a diagram derived by households only. That watch you can see na, watch means they save less time. When they save less time in getting the water, more time is available to work in the farm, right? Am I right? When they spend less time for getting water, more time is available to work in the farm field. So yield is high. When yield is high, production is more. When production is more, income is more. When income is more, they are able to send their children to schools. So education rate of literacy will be high. That's one side. This is cause, provision of water is cause, high literacy, income is effect. So this is cause and effect. Other side, households which are right to me, households which are located nearby borewell, they have access to water, they have better access to water so that they can have individual sanitation, toilet and water also, so their health status is good. And if their health status is good, the mandate ability to work will be more. Na? When they have more ability to work, then income is high. When income is high, then again socioeconomic status of our socioeconomic living standard will be better. So this is how Venn diagram or network diagram can be used to understand cause and effect of a particular facility, here borewell. You can also see another example how different organizations play an important role. So the one which is single line relationship is very small. Otherwise, in other words, those which are located near to the village, they have better relations. They play an important role. The one which are located far away from the village, from the distance you can understand, so they are not much importance in the village development like that. So this is another example. And other even in the resolving the conflicts or quarrel or some communal issues in the village, which are going to play an important role. Bigger the circle, better is the role. Smaller the circle, lower will be the role in resolving the conflicts, struggles, issues in the village. So this is for this purpose also you can use Venn diagram or chapati diagram. Coming to the last one, last part one, pair-wise matrix ranking. So in the pair-wise matrix ranking, you can have two variables. One side you can have cropland, kitchen garden land, or tree wood, like that you can have. Other side, gender, men and women, who are more making use of more, and wealth, by wealth, richer, average and poor, and proximity. Villagers are neighboring villagers are who are. So here you can take cropland, whether men are using more or women are using more. Who are using more? Can anybody? Are you listening now? Just asking this question whether you are really listening or not.
Men are using, sir.
Men are making use of cropland. So women are less. Again, if you go by wealth, richer or average or poor, who are using more land?
Richer.
Right, compared to poor. So you can understand men, as far as income is concerned, who are more empowered, men or women? Men are more over the cropland. As a researcher, let me explain. Though time is half, so that you can understand how it can be interpreted. So when men is having control over the cropland, obviously who is empowered as far as income is concerned? Men is empowered, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See, why richer people are rich? Because they have more land. Why poor people are poor? You can understand that their access, households access to land is very less. See the dots number also you can see written in there. 12, 2, 10, 8, like that, 5 numbers dot. You can understand that based on that. The bigger the dots or bigger the number, more is the accessibility. Get my point?
Yes, sir.
Then, as far as kitchen garden is concerned, women are more empowered. Women are more have accessibility, right?
Yes, sir.
And as far as wealth, every rich and all by and large equal, 10, 10, 10, 10. Similarly, tree wood, yes, like that. You can also have tree leaves. Medicinal plants also you can understand similarly. Medicinal plants, if you look at by wealth ranking, I mean, richer the average of poor. So poor people are making use of medicinal plants for their treatment of illness compared to the rich. Rich people are not using all medicinal plants. You know, no, medicinal herbs. Poor people, na, because of their poverty and all, they instead of going to the hospital located in the district or taluka place, they use a local herbals or so local plants to treat their illness. So you can see there. So like that, resource use matrix, pairwise matrix known as pairwise matrix can be used to collect the information who are using who and how they are using. Like that, you can use. So this is another example. In order to prioritize the problems. In order to prioritize the problems of the village, pairwise matrix is used to collect information. Tell me which one is the most important problem of the village?
Drinking water, sir.
Exactly, very good.
Water problem, sir.
Next one is, what is the second one?
Medical facility.
That is
Lack
medical
of transportation also.
transportation. Then, like that, you can prioritize by involving the local villagers. You can understand the most important problems of the villagers. So, in order to understand this, what you do, what you have to do in the case of survey, you have to visit house to house and then collect the information, come back and feed the data into computer and all. Once you prepare the frequency, then you will come to know, okay, what is the most important problem of the household. But through this PRA techniques, within no time you can understand what are the problems of water, right? What are the problems of the local people? So this is one. And this is also same. I am just giving an example. Prioritizing the problem. Same, if you first step then later on we can just same problems can also be prioritized. This wealth ranking. Come to the other important method of PRA, wealth ranking. What is wealth ranking? All the households, suppose if you want to understand how wealth is distributed, and who are all the poor, and why the poor people continue to be poor. If you want to understand this aspect, wealth ranking exercise is very, very important. Say in a village, for instance, if you have 200 households, you can invite some key informants like what you can see in the picture and ask them to categorize these 200 households into different categories like this: well off, better off, poor, and then very poor. Okay. And well, and you as a research team, as a researcher, can just read out the names of the 200 households one by one. If you read the first name, maybe say Kalana Mallappa. So you can ask Kalana Mallappa where he can be placed. They simply say that okay, they can be placed in well off. Next person, if you read, they can say that you can place it better off. Next name you read, they can say that he can be placed in poor. And so also next name if you read, they can say that okay, he can be placed in very poor. So like that, you as a researcher can read out the names of 200 and the respondents who are there in the place, they will tell yes, these households, this person should be kept in this household, this category. All 200 households should go. So you will get to know out of the 200 households, how many of them are well, how many of them are better off, and how many of them are poor, and how many of them are very poor. And next question you can ask, why these many households are placed in the well off, rich, and medium, and poor and very poor. Next question you ask. So in the case of very poor, respondents will come up with the answer that yes, they do not have land, don't have house, and few no other assets. Many of them are illiterate. They are suffering from illness. Like that they can tell. And poor, Some land is there, and few assets are there, and one or two literate at lower level, like that they will come up. And better off land is there, more land is there, and better water sources are there, livestock are there, household is good, and access to educated people, like that they keep them. And very rich people that develop, irrigated land is there, cars are there, RCC house is there, jewelries are there, well educated, BTech, EdTech, like that. So you can understand, huh? So you can understand that how many households are poor, very poor, better off, and well off, and why they are so. That information you can get it through wealth ranking. So this is very important method of data collection under the PRA. Next one, focus group interview. Last one, focus group interview. As I told, to understand certain issues, specific issues, you can have focus group interview. Say for instance, if you want to collect information related to poverty also, yes, you can gather the households living below poverty line in one place. Ask questions: what is poverty? Some people say that lack of income is poverty, lack of assets is poverty, lack of access to basic needs is poverty, lack of illiteracy is poverty, lack of opportunities is poverty, lack of health is poverty. So different people will come up with different concepts of poverty. So you can have a pyramid concept of poverty. Robert Chamber has given pyramid concept of poverty. Different layers. So we can have pyramid concept of poverty, then understand what is the real concept of poverty. And next question, why your poverty is there in a particular groups, maybe lack of land or lack of education, lack of opportunity, like that. So like that, you can have a focus group interview to collect the information, qualitative information. So also old age people you can understand how they are living, whether their children taken care of or not, whether in-laws taking care of or not, whether they are really meeting their needs or not. If they are not meeting, how they are managing what is their life, like that you can and so also you can have focus group interview for widow households, or female-headed households, or child laborers, or HIV affected people, anything. There must be some homogeneous group from there, even farmers also, even large farmers, or only for small farmers, or landless households, or like that you can, depending on the nature of your study, objective of your study, you can have a focus group interview and collect the information and insights and people's experience. So friends, these are the, I think 10, this is not wrongly mentioned, 10 methods of data collections are there to collect the qualitative information. So where this these results can be used, you can use these results for needs assessment, even feasibility of the studies, whether your study that you undertake is feasible or not. You can have a pilot survey, as you said, and even to identify some priorities of the village, problems of the village, or even if you want to implement some developmental programs, you can have this, you can use these results, or if you want to monitor or evaluate developmental activities, for that also you can use this PRA techniques. So PRA techniques is not a magic bullet, as I said. It has its own limitations. Some of the limitations are listed as well. Difficult in finding the right team. If you have a right team from both the sides, I mean from team of the researcher side, if you have a very good team, like one person from economics, one person from psychology, one person from anthropology, one person from sociology, like that, 4 or 5 people, very active and knowledgeable person, then they can play very important and facilitative role. And other side also, respondent side, if you have good representation from each locality, suppose in the village, 4 localities are there, 4 streets are there, few people from 4 localities are participating in the PRA, then you can get better results. But many times what happens is that you don't get that kind of very good team. If you don't get the good team, you don't get the reliable and then qualitative and all information that you needed. And sometimes what happens is that going too quickly may lead to superficiality. I mean, we hurry. Generally, in the case of survey method, what we do now, we'll hurry, no time, nothing, okay, like that. If you hurry, then the quality of information will be affected because it's a process oriented. Here, the PR technique is a process oriented because it requires lots of time also. While drawing the diagram, hurriedly you cannot draw the diagram, or hurriedly you cannot prepare the source mapping, or hurriedly you cannot prepare the social mapping. It requires some patience, some knowledge of the village, some ideas. Then only it is possible. Otherwise, it will be superficial. And sometimes what happens is that failure to involve community members. What happens, only women are involved. That's fine. If men and women are involved, then there is a problem. Because men say something, women may not agree. Women may say something, men may not agree. There will be a clash. So it is better to have women representing from different streets of the village. And lack of support to the community is also there. Many a times, when you go and then if you tell them that yes, I want to do this kind of exercise, and people don't support you. Only you can get the support in the village where NGOs are working, where self-help groups are there, where you have a close contact with the local leaders, leaders. Then only it's possible. Otherwise, you may not get support from the community. And sometimes what happens is that failure to listen and the lack of humbleness and respect. We as a research team, we don't listen. We think that okay, we are the researcher, we are very great. We try to give lecture to them, but we don't listen the information or experience from the illiterate people. We generally tend to dominate it. If you as a researcher dominate and then you start giving lecture without listening their experience, their information, then what happens is that the quality of information gets affected. And we also many times misled by myths and gossip. That's also the possibility. And generalization based on too little information and or too few information. Because the information that we collect from this kind of exercise, sometimes it may not be generalized because very few respondents will be there. In the 200 households, you may get only 4 or 5 people or 10 people or 20 people. So information collected from the 20 people may not be generalized for all entire village or entire region. That's also one limitation we have. And if all are male or are female, may lead to misinterpretation. So that's also quite possible. So friends, I'm not listing down all the limitations. There are many limitations are there, but at the same time, though this PR technique suffers from limitations, but still it gives qualitative information. So my message is that yes, you use survey method also. What is the method of research? Maybe data collection, maybe data analysis, maybe sampling method and all. But at the same time, you supplement some of the methods of qualitative research. Like in the selection of sample, you have random sample or stratified random sample. You can also use some deviant, some successful story. Suppose if you have to study women empowerment related topic. So there are some for collection of the data related to women empowerment or microfinance. Okay, you can use the survey method and use the stratified random sample. But you can also have maximum variant sampling method. Maximum variant means successful stories. There are many successful women are there. You can collect the information a particular successful woman through personal interview or whatever it is. Like that, successful stories are there. You can collect the information, add in your text, your thesis. That is good. So, as far as selection of sample method is concerned, use any suitable sample method of qualitative research, and data analysis also. Quantitative analysis you can have, overall history analysis you can have, different types of analysis I have presented. Any one of them you can use. And method of data collection also you can use focus group interview, or you can use transect walk. So depending on your nature of the study, you use some of the methods of qualitative research. As far as sampling method is concerned, data analysis is concerned, method of data analysis is concerned, use any one of them and improve the quality of research. Overall presentation of my lecture is to create some interest, some awareness relating to the qualitative method of research, hybrid research of method, and motivating you to make use of some of the methods of qualitative research wherever it is possible and try to improve the quality of research. This is my focus of the presentation. So if you have any, because nowadays quality is important. If you have a quality, if you have a skill, I will also tell you, knowledge is not important. Skill is also important. You may be knowing all this information. If you are not able to deliver it properly, then it's not knowing. So skill is much more important. So in order to improve the skill, you have to learn of some of these techniques and then thereby improve the quality of your research. Then only your product, your knowledge product will be sold like anything. So friends, with this I stop it here because of already time is over by 30 minutes as per the schedule. So therefore, if you have any questions, any clarifications with respect to these two presentations, or behind this any questions if you have, I try to give answer or try to help you to understand the question and the answer as well. Thank you very much. I also take this opportunity to thank Sidhu Hanubadimat and his team, Sima Kulkarni and all, for having invited me to deliver these two important lectures for you. So thank you very much. Now go to the organizer, and also if you have any questions, clarifications, you are most welcome.
So in the thesis, sir, how many pages will be write down, sir? This is the in this PRA.
How many?
How many page we will going to write down? Because it may be 2 or 3 pages, or it may be more than 2 or 3 pages.
Not like that. There is no hard and fast rule that okay, these many pages would be there. Make it as crispy as possible, as compactable as possible. You cannot write 100 pages or 200 pages or 10 pages. Maybe 1 or 2 pages box type. Box type. Suppose your entire thesis is depending on the qualitative. There is no limit. You are combining. You are making use of some of these. Say for instance, focus group interview. So focus group interview. What is your topic? Research topic? And just give a typical example. What is your research topic?
The same, sir. Women empowerment through self-help groups.
Yes, you want to have some focus group interview. Okay, focus group interview for what? To understand the sources of disempowerment of women. Is it this? You can have other way around. Na? You can understand, in order to understand the sources of disempowerment of women, you want to have a focus group. Okay, you can discuss what to prevent you from coming out of the house, involve taking up some income generation activity, or taking up going for higher education or medical business. You can have certain questions relating to the sources of disempowerment of women. But after
Yes,
that,
sir.
have a box that maybe 1 page or 1.5 page, no issue. That's all. You cannot write 10 pages unless otherwise there is a separate section. Suppose if you have a separate section, sources of disempowerment in your thesis, then you go on for till 4-5 pages describing it, narrating the story. Get my point? There's no hard and fast rule. These many pages must be there. No, depends how you collect it, how you interpret it. See that there is no repetition, overlapping, inconsistency in the presentation. That's all. But you can combine.
Sir, yes, sir. So one more question, sir. In thesis, we will looking to even case studies for one particular successful stories. All those we will write it down, sir.
Exactly, Gary. That's what I'm telling. Exactly. Suppose one woman got award. Okay, successful in her life. Suppose one woman taken micro loan. She was earlier agricultural labor. She took the micro loan and established one petty shop or concept. So then she has become now rich. She is having 10 acres of land and good RCT building, car, this, everything. Then you can write one successful story. It may run into 4-5 pages, nothing wrong. You can explore the process, underlying forces behind which she has become from zero to heroine. That's good. Do that.
Yes, sir.
That's what main focus of my presentation. Our people are only focusing on quantitative data. Quantitative presentation. Qualitative presentation is also improve. Other to this, your quality of research will improve. It will be supplementary to your quantitative analysis. Get my point?
Yes, a funding agency looking although this way only, sir. Maybe.
The funding agency also look at the type of methodology you are adopting. Are you adopting PR techniques or not? How you are using that also they look at. Focus group into wealth ranking or what kind of methodology you are adopting. They also look at this one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
UGC focusing on hybrid research. UGC and ICC are hybrid research. If you only focus on quantitative, the research output will suffer from qualitative. Nowadays, we are talking about multidisciplinary. Now, higher education, this NEP 2020 also focusing on multidisciplinary. You cannot only confine to economics, history, or political science, or psychology, or anthropology. You must have multidisciplinary perspective to a particular phenomenon. That's why multidisciplinary is introduced in the focus of NEP 2020.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Any other questions? Other participants? Have you followed or not? Hello? Hello? Yes, yes. Not able to hear you properly. Come, voice back.
Sir, hello. Sir, am I audible?
Not clearly. Voice back is there. Hello?
Sir, am I audible?
Now it is audible. It is.
Sir, regarding reliability, how can we critically assess the reliability of self-reported data from rural participants, sir?
Reliability. Reliability mean right? Hello? You mean
Sir?
reliability of data?
Yes, sir.
Reliability of the data, right?
Yes, sir. Hello.
Yes. Is it that you are asking the reliability of the
Sir,
data collected?
how can we critically assess the reliability of self-reported data from rural participants, sir?
Hello?
Arun, your voice is breaking, sir. Please tell me properly, sir.
Hello, Arun? Closer to your mobile or laptop and sit in a place where internet facility is good. In the house also, in the room also, in some places internet facility may not be good. Hello?
Sir, we want to know.
Message, sir. Hello. Hello.
Yes, yes, I can hear you. Tell me.
Sir, how can we assess their reliability of self-reported data from rural participants?
In the case of survey method, hello. See, yeah, see, in the case of survey method, see, whatever the information is given from the respondent, we generally believe it. And if he is giving false information, yes, we have to accept it, and then we can have a cross checking. Suppose when you go for data collection, you ask how many acres of land you have. Actually, he is having 20 acres, but he may report to you that I have only 5 acres. So this information you cannot cross check by himself. He himself is giving wrong information. So this information can be cross checked with the village accountant. From the village accountant, you can get the list of the farmers with the land. So a particular household total land is there recorded in the village accountant. From there you can cross check. If you ask neighboring households, they won't tell. If they tell, then this fellow will quarrel. That's one. So that's one way of cross checking it, and probing also. Even income, when it comes for the income, they may not tell the income directly, but you have to ask the person differently. Say how many acres of land you have, what crop you have cultivated, and how much you spent money for cultivation, and what is the yield per acre. Like that, you have to ask and then estimate the income by yourself. If you ask the income directly to them, they won't tell. That's one. And even household assets, when it comes to the household assets, You ask how many households assets like TV, they won't tell. You can observe them. You can observe the TV, then you can note down. If you ask information, they won't tell. And livestock also. If the livestock are kept in front of the house, you can observe them and then get the information. If you ask them, they won't tell. So therefore, cross-checking the information in the case of survey method is very difficult. And many times our researcher may not do cross-checking and all, but they simply collect the data provided given by the respondent. But in the case of PRA method, if information is wrong, others are there to rectify. Others are there to correct it. So that is a triangulation. So triangulation is possible only in PRA method, that is qualitative method of data collection. But in survey method, if you go on triangulation, you don't get correct information. Get my point? But collecting the qualitative data in case of survey method depends on how you establish the rapport relationship with them. If they think that, respondents think that, yes, this information will not be misused, it will be used for only research purpose, then they make you good information or reliable information. But if you are not able to convince them, if you are not able to establish a good rapport with them, then they may give you wrong information also. But simply you have to accept it. That's why PR techniques is one of the supplementary technique to collect the reliable data, valid data. Yes, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
But it's all challenging issue, I'll tell you. Collecting reliable data under survey method is a challenging issue. They may give good information, they may not good. They may not give good, may not give also. But it depends how you establish relationship with them. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Any other doubts? If there is no person, we'll just call it a day. We'll stop it here.
Please share your PPT, sir.
Yes, yes. The organizer will share with you. In any case.
Thanks. Any doubts are there?
ఆయన కాదు
Arun, your
No
voice
question. No question, madam. Actually, voice is breaking. No question, madam.
okay. So thank you, Professor R Biradar, Register Karnataka University, Central University, Kalburgi. It is our pleasure to have you for a long 2 sessions, and your insights are very helpful for our participants. And once again, thank you, sir. On the behalf of CMDR and Sidhu sir, I thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.